Have a Jewish friend?
No, sir, I do not have a Jewish friend. I am the black Jew. I am the black Hebrew. I am a member of the family of the black Hebrew Israelites. But if you're asking me, do I have a white so-called Jew friend who is not in that line of Semites, so I can't be anti-Semitic? Did you know that there are Semites in Africa? Did you know that there are Semites in Asia? That there are some Semites so black until they're blue black, purple black, and beautiful? These are people using a political term, anti-Semitism, when it's really anti-Kemetism, an anti-black program.
But nevertheless, there is true Hebrews. There is a true people of the Most High that is scattered throughout the nations of the earth this day. It is not whom that many people believe they are, such as the so-called Jews in the nation-state of Israel that we so see before us right now. I would interject that the true biblical Hebrews are the so-called African-American people that are scattered abroad throughout the world. It is very important that you understand who the true Hebrews are, because that end-time prophecy, lots of it, surround these individuals. Now please understand that not every single black person is a true Hebrew, but it is those that are under the curse of Deuteronomy 28.
Shalom, shalom from Israel. This is Ola, the daughter of Jethro. And I just heard that you black people that was stolen from Africa to America, that you don't know who you are, but you are the children of Yahweh, the children of Israel. And I'm telling you, you have to come back to your homeland, here to Zion, to Jerusalem, because us the Gentiles, we do need you. We need you to come and pray, because you are our saviors. You're the one that was chosen by Yahweh to live in this land, not the Jewish people, it's you. You were stolen from Africa, they deceived you, they told you that you are slaves, but you actually the children of Israel. And it's time just to come back. Come for your people, come back for us, come back for the whole Gentiles, because only you gonna save us. So please come back to Zion.
Which are an ancient community of the Israelite exiles. Now this is, for the most part, the general consensus of the largest people in Africa. You do have different groups like the Abu Daya in Uganda, who aren't saying they're from the lost tribes, but have joined the people of Israel in the large amounts of numbers. One other location I'd like to, actually before I go into this other location, what's fascinating is, which I speak about, is the transatlantic slave trade. A large percentage of it actually came from Igbo territory. So these Igbo today in Nigeria, who are practicing Jews, numbering the 40 million people with customs and traditions, doing circumcision on the 8th day, were the same exact people brought to the Americas on the transatlantic slave trade. Now, if someone goes to Times Square in New York today, you'll see African Americans dressed in Israelite outfits and yelling at people saying, "You're not the real Jews, we're the real Jews." And so most people saying, "Well, you guys are kooky, you just made this whole thing up, you made up a religion and an identity." Actually, no, they are the blood descendants, most likely, of the people who, from Israel, were brought from Africa to America. So it's very fascinating.
The wisdom of Solomon in the Apocrypha in the 5th chapter talks about how Jacob, how the heathen is going to be amazed and confounded when they realize that the so-called black man is that chosen line.
In America, there was a slave trade. And a lot of the slaves, a very high percentage of them, came from Western Nigerian ports. And in America today, you see a very large movement of African Americans who say that they're the real chosen people, that they're the children of Israel, they're the Judeans. So what are they just trying to create an identity for themselves because they were slaves, or is there really something here? And the answer is, most likely there is something there. And most likely, maybe that they were the original Israelites, and maybe that the Jewish people today who are white, Caucasian people came in a little bit later on.
I just wanted to come to you to impart some knowledge onto you about who the true biblical Hebrew Israelites are. Bloodline-wise, they are the so-called African Americans.
Brothers and sisters, blacks of America, it's you. You are the true Hebrews. You are the true Hebrews from the Bible. America gonna do everything, gonna invest as much money as it has. Gonna fight as much wars as they can. Gonna invite as much weapons as they can just to hide this away from you. Gonna take Israel, gonna bring white people here and to tell you these are the Jews. Gonna kill you, gonna kill Arabs, gonna mistreat white people like this guy, just to tell you this lie that you are nobody and we are the Jews with all the history and so on. It has been deleted, your history. You don't know who you are. Don't forget about it. This is why, because America has been taking your history away, never to find out that it's all about you. I'm telling you this, please. I don't ask you to come to Israel and to start a revolution. I'm just asking you to start thinking this way, to believe me a little bit, because I'm living in Israel and I'm part of this injustice.
The Hebrew Israelites, God's chosen people, are what we call African American.
If you look in Exodus 13:3 and Deuteronomy 20 and verse 2, it refers to Egypt as the house of bondage. Now, I want to show you something, and I know everybody has seen this. I saw it a million times, but never paid any attention and never really thought twice about it. But on the back of the dollar bill, there's a pyramid. Now, pyramids are notorious with Egypt. I mean, you say pyramid, that's automatically what you think of is Egypt. So why would the United States of America put a pyramid on the back of their dollar bill? Now, with the word Egypt meaning house of bondage, God was obviously telling the Israelites, hey, I'm going to put you back into slavery. Now, the only race of people that were brought over on ships and sold as bondmen and bondwomen, which are slaves, are the so-called African Americans. That's the term that the white man has given them.
It was the Ashkenazi, the Islamic slave traders as well, that then worked together with the indigenous black Africans to enslave the regal house of Judah. This is what we've got to understand, but you've got to go back before the 16th century to understand the roots of it. So we're going to see, as we dig into this, where this slavery came from, because it was really a system that was very, very well crafted. There was Islamic masters, and there were white Ashkenazi Khazar ship owners. There were the buyers and the sellers. And they're not going to fill you in on all of this, but really you've got a four-tier system. Number one, you have the Negro nomads that were exiled from the kingdom of Judah. Number two, you had indigenous black African hunters that resented the regal Negro nomads that had come into their territory with their own customs, with their own laws that were different and would not assimilate into their tribal culture. They were their own tribe. They were the regal house of Judah. And number three, you had Islamic trappers that worked with the indigenous black Africans to trap the regal Negro house of Judah. And then you had them sell them to the Ashkenazi ship merchants. Do you know how many blacks in America have been lost to Islam? It's outrageous. That's not your tribe. Your tribe is Judah. Muhammad's tribe enslaved you. Why would you convert to Muhammad's tribe when you're of King David's tribe?
Sub-Saharan One second, 1 second. My bad. Welcome to the Scoring Black Man podcast. I'm your host, the Doc Israel. We got a good part 9, controversial and deep conversations with Hebrew Israelites of different teachings and different doctrines. This is the 9th time, you know what I'm saying, that I'm doing this. Probably do one more, but tonight's topics will be, will there be an Armageddon? What happens when we die? Does the Creator / Most High sanctions killings? Best book for the diaspora, the Holy Scriptures, the Quran, or the OASPHE. And as I wait for the brothers to get in here real quick, we'll take a small commercial break.
Have a Jewish friend? No, sir, I do not have a Jewish friend. I am the black Jew. I am the black Hebrew. I am a member of the family of the black Hebrew Israelites. But if you're asking me, do I have a white so-called Jew friend who is not in that line of Semites, so I can't be anti-Semitic? Did you know that there are Semites in Africa? Did you know that there are Semites in Asia? That there are some Semites so black until they're blue black, purple black, and beautiful? These are people using a political term, anti-Semitism, when it's really anti-Kemitism and anti-black program.
But nevertheless, there is true Hebrews. There is a true people of the Most High that is scattered throughout the nations of the earth this day. It is not whom that many people believe they are, such as the so-called Jews in the nation-state of Israel that we so see before us right now. I would interject that the true biblical Hebrews are the so-called African-American people that are scattered abroad throughout the world. It is very important that you understand who the true Hebrews are, because that end-time prophecy, lots of it, surround these individuals. Now please understand that not every single black person is a true Hebrew, but it is those that are under the curse of Deuteronomy 28.
Shalom, shalom from Israel. This is Ola, the daughter of Jethro. And I just heard that you black people that was stolen from Africa to America, that you don't know who you are, but you are the children of Yahweh, the children of Israel. And I'm telling you, you have to come back to your homeland, here to...
And we in, man. What's going on, brother? Yes, Rael. Give me a mic check, brother. Give me a mic check. Brother Yisrael. Mic check, brother. Brother. The brother having a problem with his mic. Let me see. Can I hear some noise. Let me see here. Okay. Let's see. Brother Israel,
Yo,
go out and come back. Yeah, there you go. There you go, right there. There
you
you
hear me?
go. Yeah, I hear you good now. Hear you good. I was hearing some noise, but I really couldn't hear you. But
Yeah, man,
shalom, brother.
it's that rain. I believe that rain because my brother watching the game too, and it's messing up. It's like it be buffering or something. So that's why, you know what I'm saying, when I first tried it, the cam or the mic, it wasn't working. The mic working now, but the camera won't work now.
Okay, well, it's all good, brother. We can hear you. We can hear you. You probably got the method of that stream, y'all. You could go hit that little camera emoji to the left. I mean those three dots, and you might be able to change it up a little bit or something like that way. But anyway, how you doing though, brother? How you doing?
Man, I'm good, man. Tired.
Okay. I was just reading out these topics, but I'm gonna read out these topics again until we get the other brothers in here. You know what I'm saying? We may go and start the show without them. Episode part 9 of controversial and deep conversations with Hebrew Israelites of different teachings and different doctrines. And the topics today, ladies and gentlemen, and brother Israel, will there be an Armageddon? What happens when we die? Thus the Creator / Most High sanctions killings. The best book for the diaspora, the Negroes, the Hebrews, the African Americans, the Holy Scriptures, the Quran, or the OASPHE. Those are going to be the topics for the day. I'm going to run them down one more time. Will there be an Armageddon? What happens when we die? Does the Creator / Most High sanction killings? Best book for the diaspora, the Holy Scriptures, the Quran, or the OASPHE. And man, shit, we're just gonna go ahead and get right on into it, brother. Until some other brothers come on in here, man. And we're gonna start with. I want to start with the topic of what do you think is the best book? Matter of fact, we're gonna start with will there be an Armageddon? Brother Fred Jackson, what you got to say about that? I know you got something already
Well,
prepared.
of course, it's going to be an Armageddon. It's going to be an Armageddon.
It's gonna be a good one,
huh?
It's gonna be a good one.
Well, the Armageddon. I believe this is where the deception come in at with the Armageddon. See, depending on the indoctrination or the teaching or your religion that you receive, you will look at Armageddon as you either being the good team and the other person being the good team and vice versa. So to understand Armageddon is to understand the parties that will be involved in this war. And Armageddon takes place during the time after Babylon is destroyed. And it's during the time of when actually it'll be the Roman Empire against the tribes, to put it in a nutshell. And this is the last battle that will commence the coming of the new age. We at the end of the last age now. We at the end of one age, and another age is about to come, and we at the end of that age. And it ends with the Battle of Armageddon. And at the Battle of Armageddon, or at the Mount Megiddo, because Armageddon means Mount Megiddo, it's a region, and it also has a valley. And how Christians believe they are going to be gathered there. And while they are gathered there to battle the infidel forces, this is when Yahshua or Jesus supposed to come out the clouds and destroy this infidel army. So Christians actually believe they are going to be gathered together, or the remaining forces, or the people that believe during that time, because during that time, during that war, it's going to be a time of famine. It's going to be a time of pestilence. Just about everything you can imagine to be taking place at this time. And not only that, if you know anything about the scriptures, it tells you that the bottomless pit is going to be open. That means that these fallen angels and these demons are going to be released, and they are going to be possessing key people of the world, key influential people of the world. And they are going to be executing their plans through these people. Some may be religious leaders like the Pope. He is one, as a matter of fact. And the book of Daniel and the book of Revelation and the book of Zechariah speaks broadly on that topic, how he will be possessed by, the phantom or the spirit of the leader of the fallen angels, which is described in the book of Isaiah or whatnot. But I have all of that in the presentation because in one of the topics that you brought up, which was the life after death, or what is life after death, or life after death, and to understand it is to understand the beginning of life itself before we are brought to earth, and what occurs after we depart this life from earth. Do we transcend or do we descend? And when I have researched the scriptures regarding hell, it just simply lets you know that those who forsake the law.
Fred, I mean, brother,
Yes.
yeah. I don't want to skip topics right now. I want you to stay on the
Armageddon.
Yeah, Armageddon.
Yes, but but all of it is linked in. That's why I say if you don't have the knowledge, you wouldn't know that it's all linked together, because what is the world of the dead or the world of the departed spirits? Hell. The word hell is translated the world of the dead. The world of the dead. So this is a place that you go to when you die. But the scriptures tell you that it's for the wicked. Now understand what Armageddon is. It is the final battle between good and evil. So you got to understand that hell is going to be actually brought to earth. It's actually going to be brought to earth. And you're going to have those that's marked with the beast, and you're going to have those that's marked with the mark of Yah. There is no space in between. There is no space in between. So when you discuss Armageddon, it's more than a battle of just the European countries, or what the Bible called the Roman Empire and its religion, Christianity. It's the battle between Christianity and those that uphold the Hebrew law. Plain and simple. This is going to be the two sides of Armageddon. Those that follow strictly the Hebrew law, and those that follow the religion of the Roman Empire, which is Christianity. And as early as Revelation chapter 6, repeated in chapter 16, chapter 15, Armageddon, it is described in phases. And the first phase is the destruction of Babylon, which is America. America is going to be destroyed first. That's why when you read in Revelation chapter 7, it tells you that a third part of all the life in the West was killed. It's not talking about European West as far as Europe. It's talking about this far West, over here in Babylon. Now over here in Babylon, you have North America, Central America, South America, and the islands, right? So all the populaces of these continents and the countries within, a third of that population of all of these countries is going to be destroyed. So to believe the scriptures, if Babylon is going to be destroyed, or America, that'll make up possibly around the neighborhood of 1/3 of this population in the West. 1/3. So you got to understand, when it comes to Armageddon, it commences with the destruction of Babylon, but it ends in the Valley of Megiddo, which is where Armageddon gets its name. So it's all tied in at the end. Everything's tied in, bro.
So basically, what you're saying, America is going down first. Babylon will fall down first.
Babylon, Revelation speaks of it. It will fall first.
Right.
But before it falls, there's a revolution that's going to take place.
Okay.
Understand that. And it's going to be during the revolution. It's when those that believe, or the elect that are over here in Babylon, are going to migrate east. This is when they are going to migrate east. And then after
Wait, hold on. Okay. Now you said, I got two questions because I don't want you to get too far before I forget the questions. You said before Armageddon actually kick in, it's going to be a revolution. And then you said sometime, I mean, and then sometime after that revolution.
At the end, towards the end of the revolution. That is when those. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So just those two questions. Can you break that down to like real quick? What exactly is going to be the revolution, and who is going east and how they're going east?
Okay, the revolution. When you look up the Hebrew words, well, etymology, and a lot of those scriptures that speak of the revolution, Isaiah, Ezekiel, the apocalypse of Abraham, the apocalypse of Moses, Enoch spoke of it. And it talks about a time, the same time that Isaiah speaks of, when it says that a Messiah is going to come out of prison and going back into the prison to release prisoners. And these prisoners are going to be his forces. Now, understand, in order to do this, you must be ordained and have the power and authority to do this. And it's only one way that this power and authority can come to you. And it's through the chief sovereign of the patrimony. That's why throughout the teachings, I gave examples of this. As a matter of fact, all the prior teachings up until now, I gave clear examples of how you had men in the scriptures who had ministries, and they brought their ministries against those who broke the law. But first, that ministry had to be consented or approved by the chief sovereign of the patrimony, the elder of the tribes. And once it was consented, he could use his ministry to come against the wicked in whichever way, however y'all blessed you, or whatever ministry he gave you. Just like David, he had a war to desolate a mass of people. Moses, he had a ministry to desolate a mass of people, the whole patrimony. And this comes through the knowledge of the law. Because when you have knowledge of the law, you know what you can and you can't do, what's allowed and what's not allowed. And when you know this according to the law, and when you can confirm it in the prophets that this example has been set, that the law has always been adhered, regardless whether it was a renowned king or an infamous king, that is a sovereign of the times, whether it was a sovereign of Edom, a sovereign of Israel, a sovereign of Midian, or any tribe of Abraham, or any patrimony tribes. All of them had ministries, and all of them protected their people with their ministries. Now,
okay. Now the migrating east. Who gonna migrate east, and how we going east, or who?
We're going east just like we can go east now, by ship, by air. But these are going to be the elect. These are the ones that's going to actually believe. Understand, you're going to have 12,000 from each tribe. These are 144 from the bloodline of these tribes of Israel that actually believe. They are not part of any denomination or any assembly. Remember the parable that Yahshua gave about the wedding feast, where he invited all these great men. Well, these great men were renowned people in what we call the Masonic order or the Illuminati or whatever you want to call it. But all of them rejected his invitation. So what did this great man do? He said, you know what? I won't invite none of them. He said, go out into the highways and into the byways and into the streets and get these poor people. He said, they will inherit. You know what I'm saying? Bring them to my feet. They will inherit the kingdom. For any renowned speaker or any person, influential speaker that you have out there, for the simple fact that it is the poor and these simple people who are can actually read and adhere and acknowledge the law before any of these other people who actually say, I'm this and I'm that, and we live by the law. They're just hypocrites, because if they did, they will follow it. There's no in between. It's nothing hard to understand. He gave us the law. It's life and death in these laws. You either live by them or you die by them. Now, concerning the migration, at the end of the revolution, and this is going to be a period where, like I said, if you listen close to the oracles, it's going to tell you that judgment is going to come upon the lodges of Babylon first, because it is in the Masonic lodges where the power is held. Yes, we have government officials and all of that, but all of those are just carpenters or master masons that belong to a lodge. Some may be priests, 33rd degree. Some may be sovereigns. Some may be princes. But they control and direct everything. Right now, what you see in the music industry, all this stuff being exposed. And in the translations, I was telling you how certain lodges over here, they was having homosexual rights, it being going on, and a lot of them celebrities. These same celebrities. Some of them time is just now, but they been doing it. But I've been told you this. See, people just, for lack of knowledge, they say, oh, it's the Illuminati, and they think it's white people. No, it's us that run it. It just show you how corrupt it is. The ones with the ministry are the ones who are appointed sovereigns, and given the sovereignty. Just like over here in Babylon, it's split up between sovereigns. How is a sovereign determined? He's appointed by the elder of the tribes in the east. Just like in all the European countries where you have black lodges. We are everywhere. But I don't think we take that into consideration because it's not taught. I've never heard Hebrew Israelite assemblies teach this, but at the same time, most of their shepherds are Masons. But they hide this from their flocks. But the whole while they are Masons. You see, what they feel that there's powers in numbers. And they feel that if they actually humble themselves and submit to another person's truth, that they will lose followers and actually gaining followers because all they will be doing is bringing their followers into the fold. But there has always been debate and strife amongst the tribes of Israel. And it's so today because the law, for example, the Feast of Tabernacles just passed. Now, everyone, all the tribes supposed to get together, all the congregations, no matter who you are, if you claim Israel or if you claim Hebrew descendancy, this is in our law, where all the males shall join in one spot, every last one of them. I don't think that occurred. But all of them say we shall live by the law. But I don't even think they hold fast to this. But yet they teach, live by the law. We have to live by all the laws, all the laws, all the laws. But when it comes down to living by all the laws and certain laws are brought forth to them, they just ignore them. It is because that really, that's just the hook to bring in congregants. Yeah, you'll give them a little truth. You'll show them what we are the true Israelites. Yes, I believe that. And you know, but the thing is, they just use that as a hook to draw people in, and then here they come with the bullshit. They don't teach them all the laws.
Right.
They don't. They only teach them that which they want them to know.
Now,
because
let me ask you another question. Brother, I ain't mean to cut you off, but let me ask you another question regarding this Armageddon. So Babylon gonna get hit first. Now, will Babylon get hit by other countries, and will we see any chariots come down and also help blow up Babylon? And who gonna be on the chariots if they gonna be helping other nations to destroy Babylon or whatever?
Jeremiah chapter 51 explains in detail, and Jeremiah chapter 49, Isaiah chapter 18, Revelation, you see, it's going to be a joint strike. At this time, there's going to be a complete division. You're either going to be on this side or that side. So at this time, after all the migrants or the ones who choose to leave Babylon, just like in the scriptures when it said everyone will return to the country where they were born from or come from, you will have a diaspora of people actually start leaving Babylon. A lot of them want to leave now. And once they leave, and once the tally is taken, it'll be just like on the night when Israel left out the land of Egypt. All the ones that the death penalty passed over, they were marked with red on their doorposts. So the death penalty passed over them. These are the ones that came out. It'll be similar to that way over here. See, the thing is, the ministry is going to get out. The truth. Some will believe, but most of them won't. This is just the way it's going to go. 2/3 of Israel won't believe. 2/3. Understand this. Bro, that's a lot. So if 2/3 not believe, who are the people that's going to make up the land of Israel when we migrate? Remember the parable of the wedding feast. It's going to be these people that that was ignorant to this, but actually believed when they heard the message. These are the elect. These are the elect. They are actually going to believe the ministry. Everyone else will mock them. And then suddenly, without warning, everything will be returning to whatever they do in Babylon. And it's going to be destroyed. Common sense to tell you they can detonate a nuclear warhead over the Atlantic Ocean, and it'll cause a mass tidal wave that'll flood New York City. We've seen it in the movies and everything. That's all it'll take. You don't have to detonate inland. Detonate around the coastlands, because that's where a lot of your major cities are. Los Angeles, Seattle, New York, Miami, Jacksonville, San Diego, all these port cities. Now, what do you do when that happens? No more food can come in by way of sea. You don't have no seaport. New York is destroyed. All these coastal cities is flooded. So understand what type of life is going to be once this takes place. And what's not going to be destroyed by water is going to be destroyed by fire. Those who are not destroyed by that is just going to be destroyed by the pestilence. But America is going to be destroyed first. And Revelation, it speaks in detail. It just don't tell you. It lets you know that it's going to be a missile attack. It's going to be a missile attack.
Hold on 1 second. Now, Brother Daniel Huda just sent me a question he wants you to ask about the Armageddon. And the Brother Daniel Huda getting ready to go to work. He would be on here. He said, what's your thoughts on Albert Pike's World War III Armageddon prediction, Christianity versus Islam? And Shalom.
It's not so much Islam. You got to understand. Okay, I understand your question now. Albert Pike, Freemason, Gentile, you know what I'm saying, wizard. But at the same time, you know what I'm saying, he gives a lot of knowledge. But Armageddon, this is what I believe. You say Christianity and Islam. It's not so much as Christianity and Islam. When you come down to Islam, what does Al-Islam mean? It means to, you know what I'm saying? Al-Islam is the surrender, the submission. What do you submit? What do you submit to? The will and guidance of Yah. That's what the submission is. When you become a Muslim, you become a servant. You become a bond servant. You submit to the will and guidance of Yah. His will and his guidance is his law. What do Yah will? That we love him with all our heart, mind, and soul, and that we follow all his commandments. This is what we know. This is Yah's will, and his guidance is his law. So the final war of Armageddon are going to be between those that follow the will and guidance or the law of Yah against those who don't. Only those who follow the law of Yah are those who claim their Hebrew origins. But a lot of our denominations, we are similar in some aspects of our teaching, yet we differ. Whereas on the other hand, Christianity, they don't hold fast to no laws. The law is not even a consideration to them. So this is where Christianity, which the first Christian church was the Roman Catholic Church. Constantine, Pope Constantine the First, or Emperor Constantine. So even though the practices that are practiced in Christianity are ancient, but what we know as Christianity or the Roman Catholic Church started with Constantine. So this is Christianity. This is the religion of the Gentile or the heathen. Then you had those of the patrimony tribes who lived under the everlasting covenant that abided by the law of Yah.
Okay, let me stop you right there. We got another brother on here, Brother Darrell Cosman. He's with the OASPHE. Brother Darrell Cosman, I want you to shalom to your brother. How you doing, first of all?
Hey, shalom to both of y'all. Can y'all hear me? How's my audio?
Oh,
shalom, shalom. Good. I can hear you, brother.
All right, shalom, brother Hilltop. Thanks for having us. Shalom, brother Israel. How you doing?
How you doing, brother?
Very good.
Now I'm gonna let you, Brother Darrell Cosman. The topic is the first topic right here. It is, will there be an Armageddon? I'm gonna let you go ahead. I ain't gonna interrupt you, nothing like that. Let you go ahead and know, so could give your thoughts on will there be an Armageddon, and if it is, what it's going to be.
Well, will there be an Armageddon? That's really up to the behavior of man. That's really up to man. And if there is going to be an Armageddon, it'll be because of the judgment or the error of our ways. As far as hold on one second. I'm trying to find something in OASPHE that I can get to that talks about. Give me one moment.
Man, y'all hit that like button out there, man. Hit that subscribe button, the Scoring Black Man Podcast. You're tuned in right now to a controversial and deep biblical breakdown series. And this is a series within a series. So this is controversial and deep conversations with Hebrew Israelites of different teachings and different doctrines. You know what I mean? So y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, share with family, friends, and people like mine. And shalom out there to the chat. I see y'all out there, Professor Lovely Lady, Brother Moshe, Mahalaya Naturals, Cosmic Cal, Dread from Cosmic, Braun Yoga. Hey, man, everybody, I see y'all out there. Y'all hit that subscribe button. Let's get this in the algorithm, get it out there pumping. You ready, Daryl Cosmic?
Yeah, I'm looking for this passage. My apologies. I'm looking for a passage
that
it talks about. Hold on 1 second.
Now you go ahead, man. If y'all like good travel content, go over to the Hilltop Traveling Everywhere. Once again, that's Hilltop Traveling Everywhere. Hit that subscribe button. Got some good travel content for y'all. Channel's growing pretty good, almost at 1,000 subscribers. About at 900 and something right now, and pumping. Brother Yisrael, man, you've been doing some good shows, man. He got another show coming up here, I think on the 13th, and it's entitled. Matter of fact, let me get the title for y'all right now. Y'all should see the thumbnail is already up. Brother Fred Jackson has "What Was Noah's Flood and What Happened to the Fallen Angels." Y'all tune in on the night of the 13th. It's going to be the hell of a fine show for y'all. Brother Israel be breaking that thing down all the way. You know what I'm saying? He be slow cooking that thing, man, to the meat falling off the bone. So that's two good topics in one. And he's not going to come with your conventional Hebrew Israelite breakdowns. He's going to come with the breakdowns that he has been blessed with, getting the knowledge from how he get his knowledge. You know what I'm saying? So he's not one thing about him, he's not a copycat. You know what I'm saying? So he's not going to be coming with the same thing that the regular Hebrew Israelites come with.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and read this passage, man, from Book of Judgment, chapter 34. Thanks for giving me that time, man. I was kind of rushed into this real quick. My apologies. Just want to read this to you because, like I said, if there's gonna be an Armageddon, it'll be because man had brought it on. It'd be something that we brought on ourselves, not necessarily something that was like destined to happen to man. In the natural process. So hold on real quick. Chapter 34, Book of Judgment. Can I share my screen real quick? Hold on, I'm getting it up in a second, bro. There we go. You see it there?
See it.
I'm going to read from Book of Judgment, chapter 34, where it say God judges governments of man. So this, you can always read this passage to determine whether or not the Creator is for certain types of governments. And check this out. God said, when a man has young children, he makes just laws in order to teach them discretion, justice, harmony, and consideration in regard to one another. See that? But when his children attain to be men and women, man no longer holds a law over them, for they have become his equals as brothers and sisters. Similarly, in the ancient times, I had provided you, O man, with governments and laws for different nations and peoples. Nevertheless, I said to you, let your government be like a father over the people, and not as a separate matter against them. See that? I'm going to say that one more time. Nevertheless, I said to you, let your government be like a father over the people and not as a separate matter against them. See that? You see that in the United States today, with the government being a separate matter against the people.
Mm-hmm.
But you have what? Disobeyed my commandments. You disobeyed my commandments, and your government is as one thing. And look at this, and your people as another thing. That which should be one entity, you have made into two. You have made it into two. Your government has become a separate self from the people. And the people are like what? Servants. Servants supporting the lawmakers who trade in projects and schemes for their own profit and glory. Since the earliest days, all the governments of man have drifted into this. When a government no longer feels the grade according to the advancement of the people, behold, your God does what? Withdraws his heavenly protection from that government. And that people run immediately into anarchy. Look at that. Now watch this. Do not lay the blame of anarchy, revolution, and assassinations on the people. My judgment is against the government in all cases. These conditions of vengeance are only the fruit resulting from the government's divergence from the will of Jehovah and the march of his light. See? If Armageddon happens, it's going to be something that we bring on ourselves. See there? Because we rejected the light of Jehovah, the great spirit. For example, as the offspring of inharmonious parents, as the offspring of inharmonious parents or of parents wrapped up in selfishness and lower in grade than their predecessors, even so do the subjects of a king decline in grade in proportion to the prevention of liberty and the neglect of general instructions. Judgment is rendered against government where it does not provide liberty to the people and where it neglects providing means for the development of the talents created with all. In those respects, oh man, governments are measured and graded by your God. And whenever a government sets itself up to enforce and strengthen itself by violence and justice for the multitude, behold, I turn away from that government, and I call away my lords and my holy angels, So much for in God we trust on the dollar bill, right? And with that, Jujas come upon those people. Jujas, evil spirits, pretty much. That's what Jujas are. And with that, Jujas come upon those people. And the people fall upon their government. And what? Destroy it. And destroy it. So we had global war, which is, I guess, is defined as Armageddon. This is why. This is why.
And I agree. And it's exactly what you said. And the reason is because man rejected the will of the Most High in his ways. So he removed his protection from them and let them be a destruction to themselves. And so, when we say that, not going, I don't want to go off the subject because I want to stick to it. But like when people feel they want to justify death or do the Bible justify death or not, it just plainly tells you those who live by my divine laws and my moral code, which I have set before you, if you live by them, you will prosper and you will continue. But yet, if you transgress against this government of laws, this body of laws that I have given you to perform, and then you will surely be put to death, whether he bring that judgment through his own natural means or through the means of his servants among men who he sent against these people.
Yeah.
It has happened this way throughout the scriptures. And that's why I believe that Armageddon will happen. It will happen because we have totally neglected the ancient ways that we live by. And that's why I say, if it's in your scriptures, well, guess what? It's in the Quran, it's in the Bible, it's in the Hebrew scriptures. And me, I never reject the text. I always read a text. And if it coincides with just the core body of acknowledging the Hebrew law as our way of life and to stick fast to it, then I can't deny it, because that is what all the scriptures that I have read and have studied actually teach man to follow. It's just it's the divine law, or this moral code that the Most High have given us. And those that fall outside of it just plainly shows themselves hypocritical and wicked, because it's not hard to do good. And it's nothing in the law that's so difficult to make us not want to follow what it says.
Hey,
so
I don't mean to cut y'all off, but I want to get into. Was you through, brother Daryl Cosman?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. I just wanted to drop that little passage on y'all. That's all, man.
Carry over to the next topic right here, and the next topic we're gonna do is right here, and it's what happens when we die.
Oh, that's easy.
You want to start this off, brother Daryl Cosman?
Actually, I would rather start us off. I actually have a question. Go ahead.
All right, Fred. I'm gonna let Fred go ahead and do his thing on this right here. I mean, brother Israel, what happens when we die? You could go ahead, man. We're just gonna let you just rock out, and then when you're through, let me know, and then brother Daryl Cosman can come on in and do his thing.
All right, brothers. Well, actually, for this little particular piece, because I told you I was writing because I had to collect some of my scriptures, I had to go back about.
Hey, my bad, Daryl Cosman, man. I was trying to get the screen thing off, man. Come on back on to the backstage. Go ahead, brother Israel. What happens when we die?
Okay, well, what I did, I went through a lot of my stuff that I had, and I tried to get as what I could find within the time, between working and just coming back home. Just find scriptures that related to what we call the afterlife. Or, in the Quran, you will hear referred to as the hereafter. So it insinuates, I don't want to say a life after death, but yet an existence after death. So, and I had a little time to write something down, and hopefully it will just offer a little enlightenment. And I try to use different sources of Hebrew text, as far as the legend of the Jews, the Quran, and the Bible, amongst other things, to try to clarify and give a little enlightenment on this topic. So I'm just going to start reading, brother. To understand what transpires after death, it is imperative to have a basic insightful knowledge concerning one's existence before life in the physical form on the plane of existence that we call Earth. Contrary to popular belief, the Hebrew sacred scriptures offer detailed accounts about existence in the hereafter. Joy and abundance to the souls of the pious, who righteously transition their tests and adversities of the world, and the souls of the unborn, waiting to enter the world. And on the other hand, hell and the regions of torment therein. Concerning one of the detailed accounts that offers clarity of the existence of the soul prior to entering life on earth. In the extra biblical text, the legend of the Jews, the first day, we are enlightened to what Yah created on the first day of creation and all that came to exist therein. The first day in parts read, on the first day of creation, Yah produced 10 things, the heavens and the dry land, the tohu and bohu, light and darkness, wind and water, the duration of the day and the duration of the night. Several heavens were created, 7 in fact, each to serve a purpose of its own. The first, the one visible to mankind, has no function except that of a covering up. The light, each to serve a purpose of its own. The first, the one visible to mankind, has no function except that of covering up the light during the nighttime. Therefore, it disappears every morning. The planets are fastened to the second of the heavens. In the third, men shall be ordained over the pious in the hereafter. The fourth contains the celestial Jerusalem, together with the temple, in which Michael ministers as high priest, and bring forth the souls of the pious, like unto the solemn feast day. The seventh heaven, on the other hand, contains not but what is good and beautiful, righteousness, justice, mercy, the treasury of life, peace and blessings, the souls of the pious, the souls and the unsubstantialities of the unborn generation, the covering with which Yah will restore the tablet on the resurgence from death, from the day of death, and above all, the divine potentate, surrounded by the seraphim, the Ophanim, and the holy Hayat, and the ministering angels. Given the aforementioned enlightenment from the extra-biblical text, The Legend of the Jews, we acquire scriptural knowledge on what the seven heavens contained amongst other wonders. Not only did we become enlightened to the scriptural truth that the seven heavens contained both the souls of the pious, but also the souls of the spirits of the unborn generations. But in the third and fourth heavens, respectively, certain men who have transitioned life are ordained over the pious in the third heaven. And in the fourth heaven, the pious are brought forth before Yah, and their souls presented, just as the pure are brought forth before the chief sovereign of the patrimony during the solemn feast as first fruits. Therefore, we must ascertain that given this enlightenment, that there is in truth existence after death. The holy tablet of Yah references references are also ascribed to offer knowledge, glad tidings, and a warning concerning the abode of the dead, that is, the world of departed spirits. First and foremost, it is imperative that we understand our adherence to the divine law and life determines our divine judgment, and wherefore hell is mentioned throughout the Hebrew sacred scriptures as the dwelling place of the souls of the wicked after death, and is described in detailed clarity being the infernal prison of the fallen angels as well. Concerning this truth, first we read in the Legend of the Jews, the creation. It is written, corresponding to the seven heavens, Yah created seven earths, each separated from the next by 5 layers. Over the Lord's earth, the seventh, called Erez, lie in succession, the abyss, the Tohu, the Bohu, a sea, and water floods. In the same way, the Adama is separated from the fifth earth, the Arka, which contains Gehenna, and Sha'arwe, Mawet, and Sha'arwe, Zamawet, and Be'er Shahat, and Tit Hayawin, and Abaddon, and Sheol, and there the souls of the wicked are guarded by the angels of destruction. Also, concerning this same abode as the infernal prison of the fallen angels, in the book of First Enoch, chapter 10, verse 15, it's confirmed. To Michael, likewise Yah commanded, go and announce his crime to Samyaza, and to the others who are with him, who have been associated with husbandmen, that they fall grievously altogether, diseased by reason of all their impurity. And when all their families shall be slain, when they shall see the perdition of their beloved, confine them to an indefinite dwelling within the infernal, even to the day of judgment, the effect of which will last forever be completed. Again, in the book of Second Enoch, chapter 10 reads in its entirety, and these same 2 great men led me forth speedily to the gloomy dominion, and showed me therein a very terrible region. And there were every sort of tortures in that place, cruel wickedness and dark clouds, and there was absolutely no daylight at all there, but murky fire constantly burning above, and there is a burning river running through. And everywhere in that entire region is fire and ice, and everywhere in that entire region is fire, and everywhere there is frost and ice, drought and shivering. For the physical hindrances are very cruel, and the demons there fearsome and merciless, carrying vexation weapons, torturing without mercy. And I thought, woe, woe, this region is terrible. And those men said to me, this prison, O Enoch, It's prepared for those who dishonor Yah, who within the husbandry commit the crime against the kindred, which is sodomy of a child, the ruin of families, performing magic, enchantments, and devilish witchcrafts, and whosoever boasts of their unrighteous acts, stealing, lying, slander, envy, resentment, fornication, murder, and whosoever becomes accursed and steal the tablets of any man, and those who regard the poor and still take away their property so their wealth increase, and wrong them to employ another man's favor. And this is reserved for those who satisfy their own emptiness to kill the poor worthy of death, those who clothe themselves by means of plundering the naked, and whosoever did not acknowledge their creator, but instead prostrated before lifeless idols which have no vitality, who cannot foresee nor consent, a worthless thing, whosoever set up carved images and bow down to the infamous fashioning of useless idols. This is the region prepared for them as an eternal heritage. Also, in the Apocalypse of Abraham, chapter 31, verses 3 through 5, it is confirmed, and I will destroy those who have concealed me by reason of mockery, and deliver them over to the teacher of that coming age. I have prepared them to be consumed by means of the flames of hell, and be in perpetual flight through the air of the depths of the world of the dead. And they will be like the contents of a worm's bowels, because they consumed the consent to that thing which they had surely coveted without fail to turn aside. And they abandoned the chief who rendered them the ministry. Thus far, we are enlightened to the scriptural truths that hell, which is the fifth earth called the Arca, is both the prison of the fallen angels as well as the world of the dead. It is the same place in which the rebel angels, now cursed to appear, diseased because of their impurity and crimes against Yah's patrimony, and the souls of the wicked and lawless person are condemned to suffer therein. The prophets Isaiah and Yachanan, the disciple of Yahshua, both confirmed this truth, and furthermore, give in detail a description of the leader of the fallen angels and the identity of the same. In the book of Isaiah, chapter 14, verses 5, verses 7, verses 9, and verse 12, it is confirmed. A third have brought to naught the carpenters of the patrimony and the correction of the masters. On, which is the biblical Anu, in all manner fabricated the use of a carpenter's scribing gall and the desire to engrave. The same is condemned to appear both hideous and shaggy. The world of the dead from beneath is in great commotion by means of you, concerning encountering you at thy coming. It stirred up itself very suddenly by means of you. Even all the master builders of the husbandry, they exited once from out of their seats to consult the other attendants. Assuredly, you are gone to war with heaven, O Lucifer, king of the he-goat. Wherefore have you decided to hide thyself within the husbandry, which did waste away the patrimony? Again, in the book of Revelation, chapter 9, verses 2 through 3, it is confirmed. And he opened the bottomless pit, and there arose a smoke out of the abyss, as the smoke of a great furnace, and the heat and an inanimate breeze were intermixed by reason of the smoke of the abyss. And there came out of the smoke many gods belonging to the world of departed spirits, and over them was the hairy deity, which is the scourge of the husbandman, marked impudent. Within the aforementioned scripture of the prophets Isaiah and Yachanan, the disciple of Yahshua, we are given the description of the angel of the abyss that rules over the world of the dead as hideous and shaggy, a he-goat. The same is called both Lucifer and On, the biblical reference to the Babylonian deity Anu. Wherefore, it is indeed Anu, who is the biblical On that was the leader of the fallen angels, and condemned to appear both hideous and shaggy by biblical accounts, and thus the king of the he-goat, known as Baphomet in the occult. It is Anu, who presides over the devils, demons, and the souls of the wicked when they die, as the king in Arca, the fifth earth commonly known as hell, that is, the world of the dead. The word hell is word 7,582 in the New Strong's Complete Dictionary of Bible Words, copyright 1996, and the Strong's Exhaustive Concordance of the Bible, and reads, word 7,585. Sheol, Hades, or the world of the dead, parentheses, as if a subterranean retreat, including its accessories and inmates. Sheol, grave, hell, pit. And again in the book of Revelation, chapter 9, verses 3 and verse 12, it is confirmed. And there came out of the smoke many gods belonging to the world of departed spirits, and over them was the hairy deity, which is the scourge of the husbandman, marked impudent. And they had a king over them, who is an angel of the bottomless pit, whose desire toward the Hebrew command is to destroy. And among the Greek-speaking person, Zeus used his mark to destroy fully. Who is Zeus? Jesus, or Jesus. What is his mark? It is the cross, whose numerical value is 600, 666. Now, to continue on, furthermore, the Prophet Muhammad gives warning concerning hell as the abode of the wicked who transgress the law. In the glorious Quran, Surah 19, Ayats 83 through 90, it is confirmed. Discern you not that we have set up supernatural spirits of a bad nature against the disbelievers to confound them equally with the desolation. So make no press against them, O Muhammad. We do but set for them a sum of days, at the time when we shall gather together the upright of the beneficent, a well-favored company, and drive the guilty into hell, a detested herd. They will have no fellowship or intercession, except him who have made a covenant with his sovereign. And they teach, the beneficent have taken for himself a son. Assuredly you teach a disastrous thing, whereby should hereafter the honorable men are torn to pieces, and the families are split asunder, and the hills perish because of the offenses. Also, in Surah chapter 9, chapter 39, Ayat 27, 29 through 32, 60, and 70 through 72, it is confirmed. And surely we have coined by means of full consent in this Quran all kinds of similitudes, so that perhaps they may reflect. Yah coineth a similitude, a consent in relation to whom there are several sharers, quarreling, but the consent belonging wholly to a single man. Are the two equal in similitude? Praise be to Yah. But most of them acknowledge Yah, but acknowledge not. Take heed, you will put to death, and certainly they will die. Then surely, on the day on the resurgence from death, before your elder will you dispute. And who performed the greater wrong than he who teach falsehood concerning Yah, and deny the truth after it reached him? Will not the home of disbelievers be in hell? On the day of the resurgence from death, you see those who lie concerning Yah with their countenances blackened. It's not the home of the scorners in hell. And each prince is recompensed according to the tablet for what he put in execution. And he is best aware of what they serve. And those who disbelieve are driven into hell in troops until, when they reach it, and the gates thereof are open, and the waters thereof say to them, translated there not concerning you prophets of your tablet, reciting to you the revelations of your sovereign, and warning you of the coming this your day. They think, moreover, of a truth, but the word of doom for disbelievers is fulfilled. It is demanded of them, enter you the gates of hell to lodge therein. In like manner, hapless is the journey's end for the teachers. Again, in Surah 43, Ayats 2 through 8, 74 through 75, it is confirmed. By the scripture which make plain the tablet. Surely we have appointed it a lecture in Arabic that perhaps you may understand. And certainly, within the source for the law, which we possess, it is indeed sublime, decisive. Shall we utterly ignore you because you are wanton tribes? How many a prophet did we send to teach the chief men of the patrimony? Never came there to them a prophet, but they used to ridicule them. Then we beat to pieces chief men mightier than them in prowess, and the example to desolate the chief men of the patrimony. Surely, the guilty become immortal in hell's torment. It is not relaxed for them, but they despair therein. And that's what I wrote concerning hell in the brief time that I had. But just to
so break down real quick, 30 seconds. What happens when we, I mean, you know what I'm saying? I know you gave, so you're talking about the seven hells, the seven heavens and stuff, but just for like a simple answer for the people, give us 30 seconds of a breakdown real quick.
Okay. Before we enter into life, there's an existence on the in one of the heavens, the seventh heavens, where souls that haven't entered into life exist, and where souls of the pious that has died has went. First of all, so when we are brought into this life and we live, and the truth comes to us, and we deny it, and we die, we go to hell. We live, we transcend. When we live piously, we transcend. And that is in a nutshell what happens.
Okay.
I can give you no plainer than that. And when you go to hell, you are tormented. It is a place where you're going to stay.
So when
you're not in a physical body, but your physical extremities exist. That means all your senses exist. Yet you have no physical form. And that what makes hell, that what makes you immortal in hell. So with that.
So according to the Bible, we go to hell. I'm going to ask him a couple questions before I go in. Is that cool?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So according to the Bible, people go to hell and they don't have any opportunity for redemption. No opportunity to progress themselves from where they are.
Well, that's why you had when I mentioned hell has different divisions. Now you have Gehenna, you have Sheol, you have Shar Marwet, you have you have Tehayahweh. You have different divisions. Now, in all that place, there is some type of punishment or torment. But however, to say that Yah cannot bring one back from one of those planes or existence in that which we call the world of the dead, I cannot sit here and honestly say, because Yah is merciful. And even in knowing this and knowing that reincarnation happens, who is to say?
Okay, so you said Yah is merciful. So is Yah merciful enough to allow people that have gone to hell to redeem themselves and to progress themselves?
To leave. That's what I just answered. I said yes. I said he is merciful. So yes, there is a way. But however,
is that
there are crimes.
Is that in the Bible?
No, let me say this though. However, there are crimes and there are trespasses to where there is no returning. There's no returning. There's no returning. You see, and that's why when the law is brought to certain ones, when the truth is brought to us, and we know we have to live by the law, yet we follow the masses and try to find some type of comfort zone so we can neglect some laws and keep others. For those who know to do right and do if not, you know.
There's a difference between the punishment from God and punishment from man. When you it's really difficult for you to compare the crimes against man or the consequences that man has on another man to the consequences that the higher power would. Correct?
Well, this is how I see it. Y'all already told us in his law what he required. He gave us his law, and this is what his divine law was set for physical man. Because we know that Yah is spirit, and that his law is spiritual.
What I'm asking you, I'm not gonna keep it up for too much longer, but what I'm asking you is, in the Bible, can you show me objectively that hell, that there is opportunity for redemption for people that go to hell?
I can't show you that. I was just speaking.
That's the Bible say that.
I can't say that the Bible said that. You asked me a question and I just answered it, and that's why I say he is merciful. I don't know, because I haven't went and studied redemption from hell. I just know those who sin, their soul shall die.
Okay, that answers
Those
the
who
question.
live a righteous life shall ascend.
Okay, that answers the question. All right.
So you know that's basically, you know, how that's my viewpoint of it.
Okay. Now let me let brother not Cosman, brother Darrell Cosman, brother Darrell Cosman, what happens when we die?
Okay, we're gonna talk about what happens when we die. Oh man, okay. I'm not even sure where I want to begin, but in order for people to understand what happens when we die, there's a lot of context that I need to explain first. So first and foremost, we need to understand what the difference is between God and Jehovah. And then we need to understand the purpose of dying. And then we need to understand that heaven has a system in order. And then we can answer the question, what happens after we die? Can you allow me that time?
How much time you talking about? Cause we got some more topics. How much time?
I mean, maybe about 10 minutes. I mean,
okay,
how long did he take?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. Hey, don't dip off, man. You got to shut my screen. Hold on.
Yeah. Bring it up.
All right, you see it right there?
Gotcha.
Okay, cool. So what is the difference between God and Jehovah? We're going to go ahead and go there now. I'm going to take everybody to Book of Discipline, chapter 1. So we can have a clear understanding that there is a distinction between God and Jehovah. Hold on, be patient with me while I scroll through it.
Now go ahead.
We're going to hit this Book of Discipline. Now check this. God reveals who he is. This is who God is. This is what a God is, okay? God is no more than what we're going to be in time to come, okay? So this is one of the things that happens in heaven if you so choose, all right, to become a God, huh? Because we're all responsible to make God of ourselves, huh? Watch this. Book of Discipline, chapter 1. God reveals who he is, okay? This is the word from the organic heaven. Hear the words of your God, O man. I am your brother. I'm going to highlight this. I'm going to zoom in for y'all, and I'm going to highlight this. Check it out. This is coming from God's mouth. He said, hear the words of your God, O man. I am your brother. He's not the father. He's the brother. He's looking for our brotherhood. And it says what? Risen from what? From mortality. He's risen from mortality to a holy place in heaven. Huh? So that's already answering what happens after we die. But I'm going to get more in depth in a moment. Hear the words of your God, oh man. I am your brother, risen from mortality to a holy place in heaven. Profit in my wisdom and be admonished by my love. Watch this. He's saying 3. For I am your elder brother. And guess what? So shall it be with us. To rise also in time to come. And look back to mortals also. And call them to the exalted heavens of the Almighty. To Jehovah, all adoration and glory forever. Amen. 1 second, y'all. Right here, it say all life, motion, power, and things seen and unseen are by and through him. Neither is there an angel in heaven so high, nor sufficiently wise to comprehend Jehovah in his entirety. We can't comprehend it. Because its magnitude is incomprehensible. It's incomprehensible. Neither is there an angel in heaven so high, nor sufficiently wise to comprehend Jehovah in his entirety, nor to see him as you see your fellow man. We don't see him as we see a man. For he is within all, beyond and over all, being ever present in all places, doing by virtue of his presence, quickening all the living, adorable above all things. But I'm gonna skip down real quick. I want to just to expedite the answer to this question. I'm gonna skip down to here just so y'all see this right here in 14. This is from God. He says, "Hear your God, O man, and distinguish then that the two, God and Jehovah, are not the same one, nor is your God more than what we shall be in time to come." How beautiful is that? That we ourselves are responsible for our salvation and responsible for our resurrection, that we are responsible for our godhood. We're responsible for making gods of ourselves. I'm gonna take y'all to Book of Judgment. I think I am in Book of Judgment. Hold on a second. No, this discipline. I'm gonna take y'all to Book of Judgment, chapter 20. Let me go to my table of contents. Hold on, bear with me, y'all. Let me take y'all to Book of Jehovah, Book of Judgment real quick, chapter 20. I'm gonna show y'all this real quick, and we're gonna proceed. Book of Judgment. Let's go to chapter 20. Watch this here. Book of Judgment, chapter 20. We're going to go to 22 and 23. Watch this. It says, "Now therefore, when you judge yourself to determine the balance of your good and evil deeds and your good and evil thoughts, let your Creator stand as the light of your soul, and through him judge yourself. But guess what? Not as to our worship, but as to our works." As to our works. "Neither shall you judge yourself by any God, Lord, Savior, or other idol, nor by any man or woman. For you yourself stand second to Jehovah in all your attributes." But check this out. Here's what I want y'all to pay attention to. It says right here, it is your responsibility. It is our responsibility to do what? Make a God of ourselves. How? In our behavior, in our words, and in our deeds. Y'all see the three right there? The behavior, the words, the deeds. Let me go ahead and proceed. Now, what's the purpose of dying? I'm going to take y'all to Jehovah 2, chapter 2, verse 2. This is the purpose of dying right here. All right. Book of Jehovah. Let's go to chapter 2. Well, I just passed it. Chapter 2, verse 2, right here. It say, "Jehovah said, I created the earth and fashioned it, and I placed it in the firmament, and by my presence brought man forth a living being." See, we are because it is. "And by my presence brought man forth a living being, and I gave him a corporal body so that he could learn corporeal things." But with the spirit, guess what? It says right here, "And death I made so that he could rise in the firmament." Rise in the firmament. That's resurrection. That's resurrection. "And I made death so that he could rise in the firmament and do what? Inherit my Ethereal worlds." To inherit the heavens. That's our inheritance. Now check it out. Here we go. I'm almost done, y'all. So you go to system and order, right? We're going to go to Book of Jehovah, chapter 7. We're going to talk about the system and order in the heavens. All right. I think I'm going to start at 9, I believe. Let me see. I think I'm going to start at 9. Okay, I'm not going to give the context of this, but this is going to talk about the system in order right here. But check this out. I'm going to start with 7. 7 right here. It says, "Behold, you now have sons and daughters on the earth." This is the Creator. Actually, let me give y'all the context. This is the Creator talking to the angels that created man from mating with Asu, who is Adam. Check this out. "Behold, you now have sons and daughters on the earth. By your love to them, you have become bound spirits to the lower heaven." The lower heaven meaning the heaven is parallel to the earth. And it says right here, until you redeem them in wisdom and power. What's their redemption? They have to redeem, they have to imbue us with wisdom and power, walk us upright, teach us, give us knowledge, give us understanding. Until you redeem them in wisdom and power, even to the 6th generation, you shall not rise again and inherit my emancipated heavens. To which end you shall be co-workers with one another in system and order. In my name you shall become a what? An organic body, and known as the heaven of the earth, or lower heaven, which shall travel with the earth. And I will allot to you a chief. And see, we talked about this chief. We talked about God, right? We talked about the distinction between God and Jehovah. And I will allot to you a chief who is wise and experienced in founding heavenly kingdoms. And he shall appoint from among you officers, messengers, ashars, afsaphs, and esenars. And you shall be numbered and appointed to your labor and places. Like in my other lower heavens on other worlds. Look at that. He mentions other worlds. The same system order to take place on other worlds that got life. And he who is chief shall be called God. Y'all see that? Of this heaven and earth, which are bestowed to his making. But look at this. And God shall have a council and a throne within his heavenly city. And the place shall be called Horeb, because it is the first kingdom of God in this firmament. So there's system and order taking place there. Now I'm going to answer the question, what happens after we die? I'm going to take y'all to Book of Sathantes 2 and 13, and I'm going to be done. Oh, wait a minute. I messed up something. Hold up. Oh, shoot. This ain't the one. Oh, man, I got to find it again. I'm sorry. I thought I had it. Oh, my apologies, y'all. Hold on. Give me a moment.
It's all right. Take your time, man.
Yeah,
While y'all at it, man, y'all hit that subscribe
I wrote
button.
the wrong one down. Hold up. Trying to see where I screwed up at. My bad.
Hit that like button. Hit that share button. Subscribe. You know what I'm saying, to the channel, the Scoring Black Man Podcast. Go with the brother Daryl Cosman channel. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button over there, man. You know, so go there and get that brother a good subscribe. As I say, brother Israel will be breaking out on the night of the 13th of this month. What was Noah's flood? And what happened to the fallen angels? That should be a pretty good show. Y'all come and tune in.
Okay. My bad. It was verse 23, not 13. I wrote 13 as verse 23. Here I come. My bad, y'all. Okay. So what happens after we die? All right. Here we go.
What happens when we die?
What happens when we die? All right. So here we go. All right. So Book of Sathantes chapter 2, verse 23. While a mortal is alive, check this out. While a mortal is alive on the earth, the Ashars, who are the guardian angels, the Ashars are the guardian angels who are the record keepers of a mortal's life. That's what an Ashar is. While a mortal is alive on the earth, the Ashars stay with him, guarding him in the name of the Lord and in my name. But when he dies, the Ashar shall deliver the Essien to the Esaph. So after we die, we're considered Essians, meaning spirits or angel. So they deliver to the Asaph, saying, in Jehovah's name, receive this newborn spirit. He was my protege. For the good or evil in him, charge it to me. And the Ashar shall deliver the record of the mortal life to the of the Essien, and the record shall be kept within his own kingdoms. And the Asaph shall take the Essien, saying, in Jehovah's name, I receive this newborn spirit. He shall be my protege according to the commandments of the Lord my God. He shall then take the Essien to the place prepared for it, where it will have nurses and attendants according to its requirements. When ships come to your kingdoms, the Asaph shall deliver the Essien they have received, and my officers shall receive them and bring them to my holy place and bring them to my place in heaven. Hold on now. Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot to it. There's a lot that I can go to, man, but I just wanted to just share that part too about what happens after we die. But there's system and order in heaven.
So basically, what you and brother Israel was saying was something kind of similar. It seemed like it's different levels. Like brother Israel said, you know, it's different hells, it's different heavens, and kind of it's basically kind of what you were saying. Like it's different realms of where you can land at, depending on what type of person. You know what I'm saying you are.
Yeah, there's different. Yeah, there's different resurrections. So if I can share, hold up real quick.
Yeah, go ahead, man. No, so get into it, man. I got to go down here and grab my food from the delivery guy, man. Go bring that screen up, man. You know what I'm saying? Get you another, you know what I'm saying, couple minutes on in, man. Break it on down.
Okay, check this out.
And Fred Jackson, you got any questions for Brother Darrell Cosman on this subject?
No, brother, I'm listening. Like it's just like you just said. I just listened. I heard the similarities in the scriptures. It's just like the book of the Gospels. You have 4 books of the Gospels. They are similar, but they was written by different people from their accounts. And it's just like all the books. So just like he was mentioning the, you know what I'm saying, the heavens, and what I presented was basically the same thing, but just from another Hebrew text.
Right.
I'm not, you know, that's why I say, you know, the knowledge is out there in all the books. So, you know, as far as life after death, you know, and it's much more text on it. And I have some, like I told you, I just didn't have time to include all of it because it's like, I'll just make mention of this. It's like before we are born, the whole while we have a consciousness of what's going on because there's a certain angel that chooses each soul at the time of conception that's going to be born into the world. But before they are born into the world, the angel is going to show them where they are born at, all the things that are going to happen throughout their lives, and where they are going to die. And it says that the soul pleads not to come into this world because of the things that it's seen, that it want to go back to where it was before. But the angel tells them that, you know, for this very thing you was made, so you're fit in a life. So it tells about how the soul is born into the world, live as a person. Then at the time of death, they see this same angel that appeared to them. And the angel will remember, ask them, do you remember me? And at that very time, that person will begin to cry and be like, I'm not ready to go yet. I'm not ready to go yet. But the angel is like, I told you before you came into this world that I will appear to you just like I appeared to you before life. I appear to you at the end of life, you know, and take you to the ancestors or wherever you must go. So, like I say, there's a lot of stories relating to death and life after death. We just have to search out the text for it. You'll find some here, some there, and some other place. But it's all there. The thing is, study to show yourself approved. That's the thing.
Let Brother Darrell Cosman go ahead and finish up this thing. I'm going to go ahead and pick up my phone. I'll go ahead. Brother Darrell Cosman, hold it down.
Yeah, so what OASPHE explains to us is that mortals have spirit grades, and that depends on our good and evil thoughts. Like I said, like I read before in Book of Judgment, that depends on our good and evil thoughts and our good or evil deeds, where we stand in spirit. And so if you can see my chart here, It's got grade 1 being the lowest of the grade, somebody who is 100% completely selfish. But then you got grades 25, 50, 75, and 99, and the grade 99 are people or angels or mortals or angels who have totally abnegated from the earth and have let go and also let go their selfish passions. But I'm gonna go ahead and read this so we can go ahead so people can get an understanding of how this works. So right here in OASPHE, Book of Judgment, chapter 12, verse 3, 6, and 17, it states, these are the grades of the resurrection of the souls of men. So these are all grades of the resurrection. So remember what God said. God said that remember Jehovah said in Book of Jehovah that man is to rise after death. Man is to rise and inherit the ethereal worlds. Rise is resurrection. So it's we're on a after we die, we're supposed to go on a journey of perpetual growth or perpetual incarnation. Check it out. These are the grades of the resurrections of the souls of men. I people the heavens of the earth with spirits of the dead, and according to the grade in their corporeal lives, so do I arrange them. So we don't necessarily go to a hell and burn or be tormented or whatever it is forever and ever and ever. We go through a redemptive process, but that's just assuming that you didn't sow the seed of death when you was alive and created spirits of vengeance, because what those spirits of vengeance will do are people that you tormented during your mortal life. People you tormented during your mortal life will be waiting for you after death to torment you in spirit. And you can't even, we can't even rise or resurrect until they are done tormenting us. So there's not anything that lasts forever. It just lasts as long as the people, as long as your tormentors hold on to that vengeance. Now watch this. I people the heavens of the earth with spirits of the dead, according to their grade in their corporal lives. So do I arrange them. I do not fill the air of the firmament with angels scattered about, but I give them regions. I give them regions habitable and home-like. And I grade the regions as to how suitable they are in the resurrection of the spirits of the dead. See that? So right here, I'm gonna blow this up real quick. So in the heavens, there's like different habitable plateaus taking place. You got grade 1, which is of the earth. That's the lowest heaven. I mean, the lowest of the lowest of the evil spirits are right here parallel with the earth. And the highest of the highest graded spirits, they up away from the earth. They way up here somewhere in grade 99, 75, 50, and grade 25. They're not even dealing with what's going on down here. Now watch this. It's going to explain it right here in Book of Judgment, chapter 6, 11 through 14. The grades of my heavens of the earth being atmosphere in general follow this manner. Grade 1 is on the earth. Grade 50 is midway between the earth and the emancipated heavens, which is ethereal. Grade 25 is 1/4 of the way up from the earth toward ethereal. But grade 75 is 3/4 of a way up toward ethereal, and so on. Intermediate grades and places of ascent corresponding in like manner. But of grade 99 is the highest atmospheric grade, preparatory to the entrance into the company of the all pure spirit. See there? So people at grade 99, they ready to graduate and be emancipated from the earth and its heavens. They going out to ethereal, which is the emancipated heavens, not bound by any world.
And I'm back. What's going on? Brother Fred, you there? Brother Dara Cosmo, what's popping?
Hello.
The contact had went I lost connection or something. I was just texting you. If you look at the text.
Oh yeah, something weird happened, man.
Yeah.
No,
Okay, would you still breaking it down?
No, I was done. I was done, man.
Okay,
I was just giving the information on the spirit rates and the grades of the heaven.
Okay, man. Peace to Salah Shalom in the building, man. So we're gonna get into the next topic, man. The next topic is gonna be: does the Creator / Most High sanction killings? And I don't know if you want Brother Fred Jackson to go first again.
Yeah, he can go ahead.
Okay, Brother Fred Jackson, man. The floor is yours on does the Creator / Most High sanctions killings?
Yeah. When you say killings, I don't believe just what I'm saying, just killing for the sake of killing. There have to be a reason punishment for death. And you know that in the Hebrew law we have penalties that are punishment for death. And when a killing was sanctioned or to be carried out, it was carried out according to the law. So, I can't say that the Most High don't sanction killings because, too many prophets said, the soul that sins will die. The soul that sins will die. Or the person that sins will die. Okay. So there's a punishment for good, there's a punishment for wicked.
Okay, now I think we will make this topic right here be a little funner and a little better. If Brother Darrell Cosmo asks you questions, because I know he wants some questions, because that's the OASPHE main thing that they say that the Creator wouldn't sanction killings, and us that use the Bible and Quran and everything else, we see that the Most High he would send out armies and soldiers to go to do not murders but killing. So means righteous killings according to breaking the law and so forth and so forth. That's what it is. Now, do you want to break something down on that real quick, Fred, or you rather Darrell Kaufman ask you some questions or whatever on that?
Well, I could be asked questions, but as far as just going to a reference in the Bible, being in so many references, I could probably just quote scriptures off my head, to try to confirm or clarify my point.
Yeah, I'm saying quote some Christians, and he's gonna have some questions for you.
All right, but I think that it's sanctioned in the scripture for the wrongdoers, for the wicked. For the wicked. Yeah, a punishment of sin is death. But mercy was also created. In the same breath, mercy was also created. So it's dependent on, especially like in matters of two individuals, for example. And you brought blood on me or my family. See, in the law you had cities of refuge. So to where if there were two disputes and a man died, or he had a reason for killing someone, because there was no witnesses or no judges around, there were cities of refuge that he had to flee to, so that the family of the person killed wouldn't kill him, because the law states, he who murders a man shall be put to death. You understand? So there'll probably be a lot of other elements involved. That's why they were cities of refuge, so that person can stay there and as long as he's in that city, he'll be unharmed until judges look into the matter and judge the matter after they collected all the evidence. So as far as executions carried out, in the scriptures, or killings or murders, however you want to put the term, I believe that they were justified according to the law. That's if, these sanctions were, actually consented by, the law or by Yah, because you had many murderers in the Bible that just killed just for the hell of killing. That's wrong. That's wrong, because even the law tells us not to murder. But however, when you're living under a government of laws,
that's a way.
Go ahead, brother.
That's a way to get people. That's a way to induce people to even kill, is to make it where it's justified.
No, not really. Because you train up a child in the way it should go. And that should be the same example for people. When you have a body of laws that you should live by, we should be taught early to live by these laws and know that there's penalties for breaking laws, whether it be death or some type of other penalty. So we should know, especially being upright people, because it's hard for an upright person to commit crimes anyway. The law was made for the wicked to so they could have knowledge of what you shall do and what you shall not do.
Okay, let's start over. Let's start over. Okay, so I get mixed messages from you Israelite brothers. Is it thou shalt not kill, or is it thou shalt not murder? Which one is it?
Well, the Hebrew word for murder and kill is the same thing. You'll see slay, you'll see slain. It's the same. It comes from the same word.
Okay, so
it's, let's just say take it. Let's say for understanding, we'll say take life. We'll say take a life.
Hold on. Let me get it out. So you're saying that the Hebrew word for kill and murder is the same word.
Yes.
Okay, so
it's right there in the concordance.
Okay, hold on. So do you know that to kill, it means to deprive of life? Kill and murder, they technically don't have the same meaning.
Technically they don't. But according to whose standards? But according to whose standards? Because the Hebrew word.
Listen.
Because the Hebrew word states that they have the same. They're interchangeable.
Okay. All right. I'm going somewhere with this. All right. So I'm researching right now the word murder right now. I'm trying to research. I'm researching that right now. How do you define
kill unlawfully?
How do you define kill, and how do you define murder? Just keep it brief.
Murder is to kill unlawfully. That's murder. To kill unlawfully. Unlawfully is the key word.
Right. Good. There you go. Now, what does it mean to kill?
Anybody can be killed.
Now, what does it mean
to kill? A car accident can kill you. You can kill somebody on accident. Murder is intentional.
Fred, what does it mean to kill? You gave me the definition of murder. What does it mean to kill?
To kill, to put someone to death.
Okay, so technically they don't have the same meaning, because one is.
I never said they have the same meaning.
One is by law.
One is lawful.
I could have sworn I just asked you that. One is justified by law, and one is not. Right? Is that how you would differentiate? Okay. Now, in the Bible, is it thou shalt not kill, or is it thou shalt not murder? Or is it both?
It's thou. I think it should be translated "thou shalt not murder." That's what I use. That's what I use in my translations.
Okay,
just the study of etymology.
I'm not asking you. I get that. I'm not asking you what you think. I'm trying to be objective about it. I'm not.
No, I'm just telling you what I. No,
okay,
it's what. Okay.
In the Bible, is it thou shalt not kill, or is it thou shalt not murder?
It's thou shalt not murder. But I say, what Bible are you referring to? The King James Version? Is it the Christian Bible? Or what version are you? May I ask what version of the Bible you are referring to?
Let's say, you're right. Let's say King James Version.
Well, I don't go by the King James Version. I translate from it. I translate from any text that was transliterated from the Hebrew text. That's what I do. So that's why a lot of my translations won't even sound like the King James Version when I read.
So you subscribe to. So you would rather subscribe to "thou shalt not murder," correct? Is that what I'm getting from you?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, this is how. Now here's the deception right here. Here's the deception right here, because this is the way I believe the God gets you to kill off other nations. Okay, because the God of the Bible is genocidal, hands down. It's objective. It really ain't no argument.
No, but that's from your perspective. Because if that was the fact, then all the I wouldn't say he's genocidal. I wouldn't say he's genocidal.
Okay. So what would you call? Okay, so if you're saying he's not genocidal, now I'm being objective. You're saying that he's not genocidal. What do you call him sending Saul to go smite Amalek? What do you call that? And killed everyone.
No, that was the penalty of death. That was a penalty of death. That wasn't murder.
That's genocide.
That wasn't murder. That was a penalty of death according to the law, according to divine law. Amalek transgressed.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. No. Do you know what genocide is? That's
A
genocide.
killing off of you could say of a
That's
nation or a
genocide.
tribe of people. Yes, genocide. I know exactly what it is.
All right. The King James Bible, it says, "Thou shalt not kill." Am I correct?
It says thou shalt not kill. Yes.
Okay. Is that the version of the Bible you subscribe to?
What you be subscribed to?
Is that the
I have
version of the
many
Bible that you
Bibles.
go by? Huh?
No, I don't go by no particular Bible. You see, I
Okay.
translate the scriptures. I gather Hebrew text. Anything that is related to the Hebrew people. See, to me, like for example, let me give you the example so you can probably understand where I'm coming from. For example, I'm gonna say the term Hebrew Israelite. See, Hebrew Israelite, it could be ascribed to the nation, a person that is part of that nation, or as a congregation. See,
Okay.
I know that I'm descended from Israel, but I am the tribe of Judah. Do I call myself a Hebrew Israelite? No, because I would be saying that I'm part of these people that believe or teach a certain indoctrination. I'm not that. I'm not
Hey,
that.
let me intertwine real quick, man. I'm gonna welcome brother Shalom to the panel. Hey, check this out. But I don't want this to turn into a debate. I want everybody to really just approve their own points. You know what I mean? And it's all right to ask each other questions, but I don't want them to get redundant with the same, debate
Yeah.
topics.
That's understood.
All
That's
right, no, say
understood.
shalom to brother Shalom. And did he answer your question, brother Daryl Cosman?
Yeah. We
Or you
good.
through asking
We can
questions?
proceed, man. Yeah, we can proceed. I
Okay,
don't want to run around
shalom,
the
man.
circles.
Shalom. Let me get a quick. I'm gonna catch you up real quick. Let me get a quick rapid fire with you.
All right, peace to the
We're on the
family,
second
everybody
topic right
online.
now. The first one I had asked the brothers, will there be an Armageddon? Brother Fred Jackson explained his part. Brother Daryl Cosman explained his part. The second one was what happens when we die. Now they both kind of had something similar to that one, and now we're on the third one. Do you want to touch on Armageddon or what happened when we die?
Yeah, I can
Before you
touch on
answer
it
this
briefly because
question
I
right
see
here?
y'all been on for about an hour. You can hear me clearly though?
Yeah, y'all hear you clearly.
All right, so the first one was what? About an Armageddon?
Right.
Well, that's a biblical concept. You know what I'm saying? So everybody has an idea of a somewhat of an end world event. You got the Muslims, they got their idea of the Mahdi coming back. And then in some Indian traditions, you got their concept of a great battle. But for us who study the OASPHE, we understand that the OASPHE breaks down 3,000-year periods called arc cycles. And there's something called the behavior of an arc cycle of 3,000 years, meaning the rise and fall of nations. And it gives a similar pattern, like the nation, like at the beginning of every arc cycle, it'll start out with the shift, the transition from the old age to the new age. And then you have the prosperity of that age within about mid-range between the cycle. And then there's a decline, and then there's what we consider a dark age, when man kind of falls back into a barbaric state until the ending of the arc cycle. So for us, that will kind of be your concept of an Armageddon. It'll be like a time of disarray, a time of lawlessness, and a time of destruction and war until the coming age of the arc cycle, kind of like the Renaissance. You had the Dark Ages, and then you had the Renaissance. It was the rebirth. And we're still part and partial of that Renaissance, because the Renaissance was in the 1400s, and we just a couple 500-600 years behind that, and we're still Renaissance. We're still discovering new things. So every cycle will have a time period where there will be what you would call an Armageddon, but it's not the end all be all. It's just a part of a cycle.
Okay. Now the next question I got for you: what happens when we die?
Well, OASPHE has a complete ecosystem when it comes to that. So for us who study the OASPHE, it's not a mystery. It's a process and a spiritual ascension, and this cross compared to school. So each grade is an ascension. So the very first grade that we start off with is our physical corporeal body. We're on the earth plane. We're at the bottom, the lowest of the low. You know what I'm saying? And then when we shed this physical body, there are lives in what we would consider the afterlife, the next realm. In the OASPHE, we call it the atmospheric realm. Or if you want to deal with science, the realm outside of visible light, outside of 700 to 800 nanometers. But again, the OASPHE gives a detailed description about the life after death and the proceedings of how you rise from the life after death to the point where you could become a Lord God, and even God himself. No different than how you could become a president, no different than you could become a congressman, a senator. These are different positions in the earthly government, no different than positions in the heavenly government when we cross over and begin to mature and progress in those realms.
Okay, now I got a quick question before I get to the third topic. Will we have a physical body in those realms?
Now, your spiritual body is in resemblance of your physical body. The only difference between the physical body and the spiritual body is that the spiritual body is vibrating at a faster vibrational frequency outside of visible light. So visible light exists from 300 to 700 nanometers. That is what we could see tangibly to the touch, to the eye. Anything existing outside of 300 to 700 nanometers, outside of that range is what we would call invisible, meaning outside of visible light. And the ancestors, the spirits of the dead, the gods, the Neteruls, whatever name you want to call them, the angels, they all exist outside of visible light. So the spiritual body is just as tangible as the physical body within the realm of that frequency.
Okay. Now to catch you up to where we at right now, does the Creator / Most High sanction killings? And you already know, like when we talk about, like us that use the Bible, we talk about the difference between murder and a killing. You know what I'm saying? Far wise as a killing, it would be a righteous murder or whatever. What does the OASPHE say have anything about punishment by death in it? And do you believe the Creator / Most High sanctions any killings? Like if nations go off and go against and get real wicked and go against everything that the Creator stands for, does he approve or sanction any kind of killings?
Now, the Creator gives every human the liberty to choose righteousness or unrighteousness. So with that being said, you have the free liberty to do good or bad under the authority of the Creator. Now, the Creator in the OASPHE says you got to know the extreme good and the extreme evil in order to obtain the Godhead. The OASPHE shows that the Creator allowed a whole continent to be sunken underwater, which was sanctioned by Jehovah to sink the continent of Pan. But see, the difference in that decree is that there is a rescue plan for the souls being perished in the flood. And the OASPHE explains that when these souls perish, bring them to this particular atmospheric region or this heavenly region so they can be purged from their evil. So there's a redemptive process, although he may allow the killing to go on. So although you may have false gods out here slaying men, women, and children, and the Creator allows it, but there's a redemptive process to the life after death. And that's the difference between the biblical concept of sanctioning war and death compared to the OASPHE, where the Creator gives you the individual liberty, man and angel, God and Lord, to create peace on earth in heaven or war on earth in heaven. But to sit there and say that the Creator said, go kill men, women, and children out of spite, no, the Creator doesn't sanction war like that. Those concepts comes from the false God who assumed to be the Creator, and they sanction wars. And the Creator allowed these things because these wars that you create, you got to clean up. And that's the responsible labor that one has to do for creating such a trail of death. You know what I mean?
Right. And so those lords or Lord gods, would they be unnew? Of course, because I think I seen you do a show like on the
yeah, in every arc cycle of a 3,000 year period, there rise false gods with an intention to take over the lower heavens and the earth for their self-aggrandizement. And then the OASPHE, it shows you in every cycle false gods raise up. Now, The last 6,000 years, or the 23rd arc cycle, is what we're familiar with, because the 23rd arc cycle is 4th millennium BC to 15th century BC, and that's the rise and fall, or that's the rise of the Egyptian dynasties, the Mesopotamian dynasties. That's when the Israelites come on the scene. So that 23rd arc cycle is mainly the history that we know, and that's the time period that this false god named Anu Hassaj rose up, and he's the one that gave us what we know as the 7-day creation story, the flood of Noah as we know it in the Bible. And these accounts, and the OASPHE shows that these accounts were inspired by false gods for the imprisonment of minds of mortals. And people have been imprisoned with these concepts of the 7-day creation since then.
Okay. Brother Darrell Kaufman, you wanted to add something on to that? Oh, hold on. I got a question real quick. Hold on, Darrell Kaufman. I got a question from Brother Daniel Huda. He said, this is for Shalom. Is it possible for redemption, according to the Bible in Revelations 20, chapter 12, verse through 15, with the judgments of the souls dead and alive? So I'm going to repeat that question so I can make sure I got it right. He said, for Shalom, is it possible for redemption, according to the Bible in Revelations chapter 20, verse 12 through 15, with the judgments of the souls dead and alive?
Well, the judgment in Revelation is kind of different. You know, for those who study OASPHE and kind of seasoned in it, the Revelation judgment is a false sense of judgment, because false gods create their false sense of judgment for their followers. But the judgment of the living and the dead is not going to be like hand in hand, like how, you know, you got all the souls going to die and it's going to be God on the throne. He's judging each individual. It's not necessarily like that, although we've been raised to believe that. And you know, everybody has the freedom to believe what they want and accept what they want. But for us, judgment is a little bit different.
Okay.
It's like, for an example, if a false god reigns and then his expiration time comes, meaning to say that he's on a decline, meaning to say that his followers are starting to question if he's really who he say he is, because he professed to be the creator, and they're starting to get new schools of thought about higher heavens, about different gods, that his God told him that there wasn't. So what happens to a false god is usually that their kingdom turns on them. There's internal war within that false god's kingdom. The very people that he raised to follow, just like Nathaniel, for an example. Look how Nathaniel got a great following. Now just imagine all his followings turn against him and actually put hands and feet on him and jump him. And everybody in his congregation, 1,000 people, is rushing in trying to get their licks in because he lied to them about this particular doctrine. That's how it is with the false gods. Their own people turn on them, and their anarchy and rioting in their own heavenly kingdom, which creates a hellish condition. And this is when the righteous ruler, true God, sent his emissaries to come deliver those out of that condition. And then when the chief is delivered out of that hellish condition, they are brought to judgment and are judged based off their wrongdoing and are sent back to the people he misled to raise each one of those people he misled, and then he will get redemption.
Okay.
Yeah.
And before we get to this last topic, Brother Darrell Kaufman, I'm gonna let him add something on, and let Brother Israel add something on to this third one right here that we're doing. Does the Most High / Creator sanction killings? It's something you want to add on, Brother Darrell Kaufman?
Yeah, like I said, I was just going to piggyback off what Selah Shalom was sharing about the conditions of anarchy in the heavens of false gods. You know, we went over that earlier when we were talking about Armageddon, where I took y'all to the passage, and I was reading the passage on what happens with government that is for itself and not for its people. And anarchy happens, and then the people, you know, the government destroys itself from the inside out. The same governments of man, those same conditions apply to the same governments in heaven who go into anarchy because they're not following the light of Jehovah. They're not following the light of the Creator.
Okay. And brother Fred Jackson, brother Israel, do you want to add something on? Does put this question back here? Does the Most High / Creator sanctions killings? Anything you want to add on, brother Fred Jackson, brother Israel?
Well, you know, like to say the sanction is a strong word, but it was just like the brother who that came on last and how he was speaking. Have you ever noticed how in the scriptures the Most High may say, I'm gonna send such and such against this nation to destroy them for doing this, or I'm gonna send the king of Babylon, you know what I'm saying, to Jerusalem to tear down a temple and take the Jews into captivity. See, when man transgress, the Most High have a natural order, a way of things transpiring to bring about his will. So it's not necessarily that he have to intervene. It's the wickedness in the man's heart that's going to bring to pass all the, you know, what we call Armageddon, because I believe it's going to happen. But and I also agree with the brother, it's just going to usher in a new age. It's not going to be the end of humanity, because we have always experienced different ages.
That's right.
Different ages.
Yep.
You know, from the time of Noah to Abraham was the age, you know. It was from Enoch to Noah to Abraham, 14 generations. So, you know, it's there, man. It's all there for us. You know, I believe it just take brothers that's with good spirits on the same mind frame and just to get together and talk, because I believe in all the scriptures, it's saying the same thing. We just have to, you know, sit down and get some type of understanding of what it's really trying to tell us, or what it interpret into. But, you know, as far as the discussion though, I feel that, you know, it's not so much that we have you know what I'm saying, disparities in what we believe. I just believe that me being a person of my own individual studies, you know, after I had came out of the confusion of Christianity early in life, it just led me on the path, you know, to be open-minded about the scriptures, period, and try to get the understanding out of all of them. I will turn aside no scriptures.
Well,
That's not me.
Let me share this with you. You know, even the Great Spirit and the OASPHE say that his words exist in every book. You just got to know how to discern his voice.
That's right. It says that. It says that in the Bible and the Quran.
And so when
it says that.
Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, brother. Just that there's no.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, just, you know, just to confirm you that, you know, the books are out there for us. And when we can sit down and it all reflects that, look, the Most High gave us a moral code to live by, because we are those chosen people. And as those chosen people, we have a standard to live by, because that's not something to be taken lightly.
Well,
to be covered by the Creator, to be, you know what I'm saying, his people. I'm not just talking about Israel. You see, the Hebrew people are his people. Israel was blessed because from Israel came the tribe of the priesthood, which was Levi.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna cut in real quick. I don't mean to debate that, but you know, we as faiths have a hard time believing that well, first of all, we don't subscribe to God or the Bible, but our Creator says that though the chosen are the ones who choose Him. Those who the chosen are. So our Creator doesn't look at a select or exclusive group of people and excludes everyone else and say, "Oh, these my chosen."
But you got to understand,
and everybody else ain't. Hold on, and everybody else is ain't inclusive. You see what I'm saying? It specifically says in book. Listen. It specifically says in Book of Inspiration, 11 verse 7, that I am not exclusive, but I'm with all my living creatures. And then in verse 8 it says, "Those who choose me, I am a fortification of from evil." So anybody can be chosen so long as they choose. And it's not a select group of people. Anybody can be chosen so long as they choose the Creator and start doing righteous works and start developing themselves spiritually.
I never said that he did that. But you know what I'm saying, we being the Hebrew people, we know that the covenant for us, but he included everybody. See, the thing is, a lot of people think that my point of view is from the perspective of the interpretation of the Bible. See, the Bible or the Hebrew scriptures in which I study is not the same of the one of the King James Bible that I translate from. It's not the same one in the Quran, but I can use the scriptures because I know that throughout the generations of our Hebrew scriptures that the sacred name has been replaced with other names and other titles and epithets that we use. So I'm aware of that.
When you say, now I'm just asking just so I can understand. So when you say chosen, when you say chosen people, who are the chosen to you then?
The chosen to me are those who adhere to his laws, his righteousness. Those are the chosen. They can be of any race, of any creed.
Well, that's dead. I mean, that's way different from other Hebrew Israelites that I talk
But
to.
like I told you, I'm not a Hebrew. You remember when I was telling you, brother, a Hebrew Israelite? I don't like to be called that because a lot of people see it as an assembly or a congregation that people are a member to. I'm an Israelite. I am Hebrew, but I'm not what they call a Hebrew Israelite as far as biblical thinking or interpretation of the scriptures.
The doctrines.
I don't think nothing like them at all. I don't think nothing like them at all. As a matter of fact, when I was in prison, you know, a lot of them took a disliking to me because I used to tell them that, you know, before I just follow them, I'd rather follow the word and do what the word tells me to do. And you know, that was try to that was live by the law, you know, practice the law.
Well,
So,
I feel like I can have a higher level conversation with a brother like you then.
Yeah,
I feel like, because I'm just putting that out there. Yeah, go ahead.
Wait, hold on, brother. Hey, Callie.
You hit it on the top though, like as far as, you know, today's chosen people are, like you say, those who serve the Creator and, you know what I mean, do his works. But even when you read the OASPHE, there was a point in time when he did select chosen people to do chosen things at that particular time.
Yeah.
But as far as today in the Ark of Cosmos, the New Age, the New Ark cycle, you know what I mean, those that the whole idea of a chosen people, as we know it from the Bible, that cycle kind of have been broken.
Right.
You know, and the chosen people of today is kind of like what the brother said, those who really, you know what I mean, follow and do the service of the Creator regardless of race, creed, or color.
Right,
And that's
right.
the problem.
I loved it. Go ahead. My fault, Steve. I got excited. I was just saying that I loved hearing that come out of his mouth because that's something I could definitely
when he said
agree
that,
with.
he on pat. He on the faithful's time because
And I was explaining to the doc that, you know, man, when it comes to the elect, it's not going to be just this particular assembly or this particular congregation. It's wicked and it's good in every congregation, but it's those of that pure heart and that pure mind that's just really just been on. Look, I want to seek out all the righteous commandments, all the laws. I want to live perfectly. I want to ascend to that other pinnacle in the higher heavens, where the righteous or where my righteous ancestors are.
Well, you may want to pick you up in OASPHE because the reason I say that because it gives you an instruction about how to go about doing these things yourself without depending on the Savior, and it's gonna what's most important. What I think Bible followers, you're a Christian,
check this out.
or Hebrew Israelite, the most important thing that got to be cleared up, because this is the most detrimental thing, and this is why I've been cutting biblical followers for the longest. You have to learn and understand. Well, you ain't gonna learn and understand it from the Bible because it doesn't explain it. When you get the OASPHE, the first thing you must come to understand is the title and ranks of angels within the kingdom of heaven. Because it's now we have government.
No, I understand, but to see, not to cut you off, brother.
Check this out. Let me hold on 1 second, because y'all getting into the last topic right now. So the last topic is what right here, the best book for our people: the Bible, the OASPHE, the Quran, and why. Explain. I'm gonna let Brother Shalom go first, or Brother Dara Kausman, whichever one y'all in the same book. I'm gonna let one of y'all go first. Let the brother Fred Israel go second, and then one of y'all could go third.
Man, that's a loaded
Who will
question.
go first? Daryl
Yeah,
or
Well,
Tamar?
I'll take
can I
that. That's
can I make
easy.
can I make a brief? Can I just
Yeah.
go first and I'll just make it real? I'll make mine real brief.
Go ahead.
Oh, all right, go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, I don't believe in a particular book. I believe that there's a holy tablet, and all these books that we have, they all came from this holy tablet. They just have been translated to the point that where when religions adopted our sacred tablets and put in their own transliterations and the interpretations thereof and added that indoctrination to it and made it religion, that's where the confusion came in at. But in the beginning, that was one tablet, one manner of life, and all of us live by it. We were a righteous people. The entire earth prospered. The entire earth prospered. You know, civilizations being over here in the West. Even in the time of Moses, there were civilizations over here in the West. Right now, it's the destructions hidden over there in the Grand Canyons with these big statues that they found in Egypt, with the, you know, with the headdresses of the pharaohs and all of this. And there's a lot of people saying, oh, the real Egypt is in the West. The Nile is the Mississippi River. No, there was a vast civilization over here, learning, higher schools of learning, religions and all of that. And the cultures from the East were brought over here to the West. They've been existed, but a lot of people don't know that the West has been destroyed before. But it was the far West that was over here in America. The location of Nevada, Utah, the Grand Canyons, it was destroyed. It was destroyed. And but you know, not to get off point, but I believe that all of these books that we learn from and read from, I believe that they are all part of the Holy Tablet. And I try to study all of them, me personally. I don't think it's just one particular book. I believe we're supposed to study all the books and make it all come together so there don't be no contradictions, just one unified doctrine that's according to the law and righteousness.
I believe there is one particular book for all people. I believe there is. Check this out.
Yeah, go ahead, Daryl.
Check this out, man. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna share this with you, and I got this memorized. I'm gonna try to read it as best I can. In OASPHE, somebody got some background noise going on.
There's a case I found that says,
Okay, in OASPHE, in the Book of Discipline, chapter 5, verse 10 through 11, it states that Jehovah is near this day. Should I wait till you come back in?
Oh, you fell off?
Okay, there he is. Okay. Book of Discipline, chapter 5, verse 10 through 11, it states, Jehovah is as near this day as in the time of the ancients. Put yourself in order, becoming one with him. And guess what? No book, it says no book, and this includes OASPHE, no book is as easily read as his created universe. Then verse 11 states this, inspiration comes less by books than by what Jehovah wrote, his worlds. So read him and his works. So if there's any one book that is the book of truth, it's the book of reality itself. Huh? And Jehovah writes it on our soul. Writes the law on our soul. The law is written within us.
Right.
Huh? Because it even states in OASPHE. It even states in OASPHE that what did it say? What verse am I thinking about? It say my soul, the creator say he goes into the soul from all sides. Huh? So reality itself don't lie, man. Reality itself don't lie. Objective reality does not lie. The only lies that are in reality are the ones that come out of a man's mouth.
Yeah.
But you know what though? The brother asked a specific question. He said, which book is better, the Bible, the OASPHE, or the Quran? So I want to be specific to the books, because I done read these books. We read the Bible, I read the OASPHE, and I read the Quran. So somebody who has read these books and make an assessment and a judgment from these books, which book would be better overall would be the OASPHE. First and foremost, the OASPHE explains the title and ranks of angels, differentiating the creator from God, Lord, God, and Lords. Now in the Bible, it starts off Bereshit bara Elohim. It starts off with a God, which in return is a deity, which in return is an angel. The OASPHE explains that angels and deities are just ranking angels in the kingdom. They're no different than you have a government, which is the kingdom, and you have people running those governments. And the chief over that government would be the president. Now, you've been confused all your life that the president is the Most High Creator. But you know, having an understanding of the earthly government, you know that the president is not the creator. You know that the president is just a man in office. It is the exact same concept with the heavenly kingdom, with the title of God, Lord, God, and Lord. God is just a title bestowed over a chief angel to rule over the kingdom, no different than the president is. If you understood that, you will not be worshiping a God. But the difference between the Bible and the OASPHE and the Quran is that the OASPHE distinguish a creator from a God. That makes a big difference, because you believe in the Bible that God is the Most High Creator, while in the OASPHE it's letting you know that God is a title bestowed on an angel to rule over a heavenly government. If you understood that, you will be able to differentiate Elohim Adonai from Yahuwah, Jehovah Creator. And that's the problem that the biblical followers have. They have deified Jehovah, Yahuwah, Yahweh, into a deity, an angel, a man walking in the garden, Moses seeing him face to face, Jacob wrestling with him. We will never have those confusions in the OASPHE. We would understand those as being deities, and they will never confuse those as being the Most High Creator.
And it gives you, and it also gives you the formula for salvation and resurrection. It gives you salvation and resurrection. So
can I say this?
Go ahead.
But see, I presented podcasts that said the same thing that you just said. What I translate from the Bible, I know there's ranks of angels. Just what he said. I know that there's one distinct deity of the Holy Scriptures, but it has been replaced by titles like the God, who was just a rank over the ones under him. You could read about these in the books of Enoch, the legend of the Jews, the creation of the angel host, the confusion when the 1/3 rebelled and were cast out, except one who was cursed to walk the earth until it's time to return to the infernal. See, all of this is in the scriptures, but when you read it, how it's translated in the King James Version, you will never see it. But every text that I have translated from the Quran, the Bible, the Book of Jubilees, the Book of Jasher, the Apocalypse of Thomas, 4th Ezra, any book that I've translated from, it all tells about these angels, their ranks, who is the creator, separated from who are these angels and these so-called deities or gods that men have set up. All of this is in the scriptures, but I believe it's just the way that it's been translated that brings the confusion.
It's not on the same level, because I read to you earlier on Book of Discipline chapter 1 to give you the difference between God and the Great Spirit Jehovah. I have yet to run into any text, especially the King James Bible, where God had confessed that he is not the creator and just a God. I have not read
translation. It's the translation that you are reading. See, like I told you, I don't go by. I don't even go by the translations of a King James version.
You would have to.
I do my own translations, and none of them has contradicted, and all of them say there's only one creator. Like I'm saying, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm disagreeing with what the brother. I'm agreeing with what the brother just said. But what I'm saying,
I'm not saying that you're not disagreeing. But I'm telling you, I'm saying that I have never come across in the Bible that God admitted that he was not the creator and just the created deity.
And that's because those the terms like God or the Lord God or God has been substituted, and even I know just from my studies that all of those are heathen deities, and they have been put there.
So you're admitting that the God of the Bible is just a deity; he's not the creator.
But I said that. That's why I said you see. A lot of people take the understanding that I take the Bible literally for what it says, but I don't, because I've studied.
I'm just asking you to get some clarity. That's all. So I'm gonna ask you again: are you saying that the God of the Bible is not the creator?
This is what I'm saying. The creator of the Hebrew that gave us the scriptures is different from the same God in the Bible and in the Quran and any text that don't use the sacred name that he gave us to use.
You see, a lot of times, no, I feel you. I get where
See,
you're
this
coming
is what I'm
from.
saying. What I'm saying is there's a name that we should use. And, you know, as far as the sanctity, as far as when we go into prayer and everything, but we should be mostly aware of terms that they have given us, like the Lord and God and the Lord God, because when you study the etymology of those words, you see that they have no righteousness in them
Well,
whatsoever.
now, when you say etymology of words, see, now we got to translate it back to its source where it came from, which is
the Hebrew. The
So,
Hebrew, yes.
let's start there. Let's start there. So the Hebrew.
Yes, I have one. I've had a concordance. I've had a concordance since 2005 when I was locked up in prison. That's the only text I use as far as studying words in my Bible.
So God, in the beginning, the very first term God is in Genesis, Bereshit 1:1, where it says
and God is word.
It says in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Now, when we look at the word God, which is H430 in a concordance, it's going to reference God as a deity, and it's going to reference God to being an angel. And this is supposed to be the Most High Creator in the beginning. So when Daryl was asking the question about, do you believe God is the creator? Because we understand God to be a deity. A deity is a man.
No, I don't think God is the creator. No, I know that God is not the creator. No, now I understand. See, and that's just coming with the knowledge of being on the same level.
Interesting. That's
the thing to come about, because I know that God is also word 3068 in the exhaustive Hebrew Aramaic concordance. And that word, which is word Hayah, which is word Hayah. It also shows you that from this word came the word God, angels, magistrates, judges, idols, and deities.
That's interesting.
So you got to understand, by me knowing this, when I translate, I remove when you can see what I can say, righteous titles that refer to the Most High, such as like merciful. You would be surprised words that would be translated into words like that, like merciful, like from the word God. See, the word God can also mean adversary in Hebrew, word 6,697. It means adversary. And we also know that adversary in Hebrew is also Satan.
Hey, you need to do yourself a favor and pick up on the OASPHE, man.
But you know, any I told you, I don't discriminate in the Hebrew text. I actually try to go out and find them, and I translate them, because I say if the source of these scriptures are Hebrew, then if they are translated thoroughly with this Aramaic Hebrew concordance, with the knowledge that I know where these terms came from, certain terms came from, like God of the Lord, it'll all make sense. Because even the word God could be translated father, or chief, or fatherless. It could be translated surely. It could be translated patrimony. It could be and that's why I say that's why I say, and just being aware of certain words, I could pick up a Bible and just see I could see the mistranslations and the deceptions in it, just by knowing certain words.
So do you worship the God of the Bible, or do you worship that which is beyond him?
I don't worship the God of the Bible. I worship the Creator. I know there's a difference between the Creator and created beings. I know angels were created beings. I know they were in ranks.
Hey, that's crazy.
You have, and you know, depending on text you read, you could read Hammurabi text or whatnot, and they'll tell you about the ranks of the angels. It depends on Zechariah's edition, which was a Jewish, what they call archaeologist, that wrote extensively on the Anunnaki. He actually explains the rank and order of the Anunnaki, but I don't think that he probably did have the concept that they both, that the Anunnaki and the fallen angels are one and the same beings, just called different beings throughout different civilizations. Like you say, the Neteru in Egypt, or the gods of the Greek pantheon. You have the Hindu gods, and guess what? all of them. Have you ever noticed that, like the Indian, the gods of the Hindu people, the Egyptian gods, and how they are described in the book of Enoch, they all have animal heads and human bodies. And when I read in Isaiah how Anu or On was condemned to look both hideous and shaggy, and that they call him the king of the he-goat, and how Baphomet and witchcraft lore is appeared to look as a he-goat. See, that's why I say some things aren't coincidence. You just have to search, because the truth is in the Bible. I would never know that the Bible mentioned Anu as much as it had if I didn't translate. I wouldn't know that it mentioned all these deities of these that people worship or
that's who your Elohim is in Genesis. Them is the Anu. That's them right there.
It speaks of a lot of them. Like, for example, the adversary, when it said Satan. Have you ever heard of the scapegoat, right? Azazel. He was the scapegoat. Now, if you ever read in the books of the life of Adam and Eve, and it started explaining about the garden, and in the Apocalypse of Abraham, and Abraham asked about certain figures. Who are these people in the garden? See, you had a man. A man is translated word 376 ish in the Hebrew Aramaic dictionary, and it's translated or word 123. I mean 120.
Yeah, we familiar with
and
Ish.
it means man of low degree.
Yeah.
And woman was translated husbandman. It is the feminine gender of the word ish. So even though it's the feminine gender. So you had a man of low degree, which is in masonry, is an errant apprentice. And then you had a husbandman, which is in masonry, a fellow craftsman. And then you had a serpent. Serpent translated from the Hebrew is an enchanter. So you had a sorcerer. Go ahead.
Let me ask you this. So there's a verse, it's in Exodus, where it said, the Lord is a man of war, the Lord is his name. And so in Hebrew, when you look at it in the Strongs, there's Ish right there, where it says the Lord is a man of war, the Lord is his name. So you look at the Strongs, it says Ish. So would you agree that you said Ish is what? Can be you say a low man or animal, would you say?
You talking about no, I said now it depends on which word you use for man, because the word Adam means man. The word Ish also means man. The word Ben can also mean man or son. So when you go to these for example,
where it says the Lord is a man of war, the Lord is his name, it uses Ish in Hebrew. So I'm giving you what it says objectively.
So it could mean
what I'm asking you, what could that mean for God then? Because it's saying that God is a man. It's saying that God is a man.
Now it depends on the context. Remember, like in school, when you didn't know the definition of a word, the teacher said use the context clues around it. Read and then try to figure it out what that word means. It kind of works the same with the context of that, because when it said God is a man of war, where you have a few words in there that could be translated to make that make sense. You have God, which could be translated builder. It could be translated chief. It could be translated, like I told you, adversary. It could be translated sovereign. It could be translated master, for example. And then you have the word man. It could be translated anointed one. It could be translated chief. It could be translated brother. It could be translated.
Titles will fall under the auspice of man. Because a man is a warrior, a man is a chief.
And that's how pictographs work. Cuneiform, which Hebrew was written in. See, if one pictograph can give you a meaning, when they combine these pictographs to make words, it just gave you many meanings. So a person actually had to be learned with it before it became writing, because as a matter of fact, in the book of Enoch, it tells us that the earlier people, before writing was invented, that they already had the law in them to live by. It was imputed in them to live by. And they were to stick to this.
Before the written law.
Before writing was invented.
Right.
See, my study of the scripture says that Enoch was the first one to actually make the pictographs or inscribe the oral law that was handed down and taught at that time. See, in the beginning, when man was made, we wasn't born, we was created. And we was created with that divine inspiration, with the breath of the Most High. We was blessed with that. So we had that within us. Then when the fallen angels came to the earth at Babel, another example, when it said in Genesis chapter 9, when it said the Lord came down. Okay, we know that the Lord is also a word 430. It could be translated to angels. The angels came down at Babel, and they seen these people, these builders, these women, because women can be translated into husbands, and vice versa. So it's letting you know that something was going on here. These people already had the intellect to build this great civilization, and these angels came down and saw it and said, "Let us go down and confound their language." Well, what does the word language mean in Hebrew? Their commandment. They all had a commandment, a body of law that they live by. And we know that when angels come to the terrestrial land, they can take two forms. They are created of fire, but when they come to the earth, they can take the form of wind, or they can take the guise of man. And this is how they introduce themselves to the men and start teaching them witchcraft and sorceries. They start teaching them astrology. They start teaching them how to make weapons and breastplates and arms. And they taught them the art of war. It was the fallen angels that taught man to sin.
Yeah, I gotta sign out, y'all.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say, yeah, I mean, OASPHE, I would say it's better for our people because it's forward thinking, it's progressive, and it's liberating. I'm gonna just sum it up like that, because it's really a loaded question. Because once you get in there, there's just so much that there's just so much in there that would free a man's soul. You know what I'm talking about? But whatever it is you subscribe to, you know, if that's something you feel like is what's saving you, then that's just what you do. Because it even says in the OASPHE that the Creator says allow people to worship who they please. But just know that, you know, at the end of the day, you know, all your light, it goes.
I worship Yah. I just want to make it plain that I worship Yah.
I'm just saying in general.
That's who I worship.
In general. Yeah.
I'm
just saying in general.
Yeah, in general. Yeah.
Because who we worship, and it states this that what we worship or who we worship, we see as a role model, and we're gonna model the role of that figure. So we just got to be careful what it is we choose. We got to be careful what it is we choose. But like I say, you know, everybody got their own individual journey, so to each their own. You know, only thing I can do is sit back and hope that your ascension is you know, it's clear.
Hey, let me jump in here real quick.
I've been studying this almost 25 years now. Just the Hebrew by itself, I can actually just skim a chapter, any chapter in the King James Version, and translate it as I'm reading in my head. Yeah. I've actually did, like I told you, I've had my concordance for a long time, and I did 20 years in prison, bro. I had no other. All I had time to do was study, and that's what I did.
Hey,
and
that's what I jump in here real quick. Let me jump
in
real quick. Brother Yehuda, he sent the thing. He sent it earlier, man, but y'all were having a deep time of conversation. He wanted just to add on to basically what all y'all were saying about, you know, about it's just not going to be Israelites or Hebrew Israelites that's going to make it to the kingdom. No, so you know, me and Brother Yehuda, we kind of on the same page what I was thinking.
Yeah.
And he just wanted to leave this verse out there, Isaiah 49:6. And he said, "It is a light thing that thou shalt be my servant to raise up the tribes of Jacob and to restore the preserve of Israel. I will also give thee a light, for a light unto the Gentiles, that thou may be as my salvation until the end of the earth." So he just wanted to drop that in there, and you know what I'm saying, and basically agree with y'all, with all y'all brothers about it's going to be more than just us biblical by blood Israelites making it to the kingdom. So
when you look up the word Gentiles too, and this when you study, remember it can also mean foreign nations, because you have those that are foreigners but that are not Gentiles. What I mean, Gentiles that are descended from the Greeks, for, you know what I'm saying, for, you know, just to be playing with it.
Yeah, and it makes it clear in the OASPHE that the ascension is like school.
Exactly.
You went to school with all type of nationalities. You had Chinese people in your class, Mexicans, whites, blacks. You had all type of nationalities growing up in your school. But the objective for every person, regardless of nationality, was to graduate.
That's right.
The objective goal and
That's
the
the
end
objective,
game
man.
that the OASPHE is explaining. Regardless of your nationality, you are to graduate off this planet so you could rise into the higher heavens. So regardless of what curriculum and subjects you study within the grades of going to school, just don't forget your objective is to graduate. And that's what we got to remain focused on, graduation.
Right. Hey, I like to thank all the brothers and sisters in the chat. I seen Dre from Cosmin, Bronze Yoga, Cosmic Kale, shout out to brother Daryl Cosmin for coming on, Professor Lovely Lady, brother Moshe. I think it was Mahaya Natural. Shout out to everybody, you know what I'm saying? Brother Daniel Huda for, you know what I'm saying, was sliding through with some questions. I think he's on the plantation right now working and stuff, man. But I want to get y'all final thoughts. Matter of fact, let me run down these topics again that we went over today. We went over will there be an Armageddon? What happens when we die? Does the creator / most high sanctions killers? The best book for the diaspora, basically, us Negroes, the Holy Bible, the Quran, or the OASPHE. And we had the brothers give out a good show today. I like to get their final thoughts and their final messages out to the people, and I'm gonna start off with brother Israel.
Man, I enjoyed the session, man, and I'm looking forward to getting up with you brothers. I don't have much to say, man. I know people have things to do, so it's late. I'm on the East Coast, so man, shalom, man, and peace and blessing to all you brothers and sisters.
Brother, the good brother Shalom. Y'all go over there and subscribe to the brother Shalom TV. He has a very, very, very big platform. A lot of followers, you know what I'm saying, and he got some good teachers, you know what I'm saying. Brother Shalom, your final thoughts on today's show.
Yeah, man, excellent show, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the God Hilltop doing this thing, man. I salute this brother, man. You know what I'm saying? He outside the box. Most of us are stuck in the States. This man moving around doing this thing. So I salute you for that. A traveler man is a learned man, you know what I'm saying? But it was some good topics. I came on kind of late, you know what I mean? But nonetheless, with knowledge, gain knowledge, get wisdom and understanding, you know what I mean? Continue to grow, don't get stuck in no books, you know what I mean? Right now, just OASPHE is the hot topic right now, but this is not the end all be all. You know what I'm saying? And y'all chime in whenever you want to get some higher light, some higher knowledge, tap into the page. I may go live in a minute right now, actually. Hilltop got me amped up right now.
Man, I appreciate all y'all.
And peace to the brother Israel, man. The brother's on point. I must say, like, for the most part, everything I heard was right and exact. We can have some further deeper topics about, other things. But as far as him identifying the deities and differentiating the creator, that's to me, that's one of the most important.
That's the most important.
Exactly. That's the most important. Everything else could come after. But once you understand that there's a creator and then the deities, then your salvation redemption will be a little bit more lighter.
and I believe that was the whole point of Revelation 12:9, where it say the dragon was cast out, the devil who deceived the whole world. I believe that's how he deceived the whole world. Through these titles and these, epithets that people, think is the creator. And and that's, like you say, that's the most important thing, man, when you start learning, is knowing who you worship and knowing who is due the praise and the worship of the people.
And I've been waiting to get y'all two, together to sit down, because I was telling, I think I was telling Cosmin Cal and Daryl Cosmin like months ago. I was like, he's not your regular Hebrew Israelite. You know what I'm saying? He don't believe, in them same one West doctrine. Even people that say they don't believe in one West doctrine, they still teaching one West doctrines. You know what I mean? So they still teaching. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They So, but me, I learned a lot from me and brother Israel go back to junior high school. You know what I mean? So like he said, he ended up having to do 20 years, and when he got out, you know what I'm saying, I guess he must have seen, I must have sent to one of the shows. He was like, and he started hitting me back with scripts. I said, damn, okay, so you've been studying that, Joker. And then he came on. He was, he did the first, show on controversial and deep Biblical Breakdown series. And then, y'all came behind. I mean, hell, y'all got the top shows on there. Matter of fact, y'all two right now. Who are white people according to the Bible, Canaanites or Edomites. And he say Canaanites, not Edomites. And then Shalom Shalom, with the OASPHE. So y'all got the top two videos on Controversial and Deep Biblical Breakdown series, man. So I just want to
let's keep it going. You know what I mean? That's the hot topic. We the new kids on the block. We taking down the norm that been programmed in people's head for the last 2,000 to 6,000 years, that God is a man sitting on the throne and that's the Most High. So we tearing that down.
Right.
And we only tearing it down to bring you back to the Creator, because technically God sitting on the throne is right and exact, but the only problem is that's not the Creator. That's just like the president or the King Haile Selassie sitting on the throne ruling. It's no different than that, but in the heavenly kingdom. And the God sit on the throne is not demanding worship. It's the same way we don't demand worship of the president. It's like a principle. They're there for you to graduate. They're here to assist your resurrection, for you to move on to the higher plane. So God is a teacher. He here to teach you to move on. And he gave you some laws for you niggas to follow so you can move on up.
Right. So y'all tune in and I was gonna make this the last Controversial and Deep Conversations, but hell, I might well do a part 10, man. So we'll get some good topics, man. Y'all brothers and sisters out there got any good topics, email me on Facebook or whatever, or Instagram, and let me know what I'm saying. And just give me some good topics for the brothers to come back on, you know what I'm saying? And any of you sisters knowledgeable, y'all want to come on and give your 2 cents next time, you know what I'm saying? Please do. Hey, Brother Fred Jackson, he has a show on the 13th. I think about around 9 o'clock, and it's going to be it's a 2-topic show. What was Noah's flood and what happened to the fallen angels? And he's going to have, it ain't going to be what you think. It ain't going to be nothing about, you know what I'm saying? Hey, trust me, it's going to be something totally different. It's going to be shaking everybody goddamn head. He's not your conventional Hebrew Israelite. So the breakdown on what was really Noah's flood and what happened to the fallen angels, y'all tune in on the night of the 13th. I think about 8:30, 9 o'clock, something like that. He'll be going on. Fred, for you have something else to say?
Hey, bro, I enjoyed the show, man. I really like to get, you know what I'm saying, get up with you brothers more, because I have, like I told you, man, I have an extensive translated tablet myself, like I told you, with over well over 200 chapters, not including, you know what I'm saying, probably just as many partial chapters. So, you know what I'm saying? I have a lot of it. And like I told you, I use text to translate from, but I don't follow, you know what I'm saying, the translations of the text that I read. I have to actually go back and rehearse them and use my knowledge to do it. So it's not going to be the rendering that you normally read. When I read it, it'll sound totally different. But like I told you, man, I don't mind sharing my stuff. Even if I'm cool with somebody, I could screenshot a translation, and if they have a concordance, a Hebrew concordance, they could check it for themselves, because I have every word that's translated marked with the number and the word that I use from the Hebrew dictionary and type in parentheses, and so they could search that word for themselves and see that I translated correctly, word for word. So when it comes to my translations, you know what I'm saying, and the consent in the Hebrew, primitive root, I know there's no mistaking because I follow the guidelines as far as translating. And I do know that it all has one thing in court, the scriptures in the end. And the two main bodies that's going to be a part of it is one that was created from the beginning, and that's what's commonly known as the Masonic order, but what is biblically known as the order of Melchizedek. And when I say biblically, I'm not just talking about the Holy Bible, as most people just say, the King James Version. When I refer to the Bible, I refer to all the Hebrew texts, or the ones that I study. You know what I'm saying, upon that topic. So I believe when we know that who the people are that sit in these seats and sit in these thrones in the order of Melchizedek, because they have been around, and one thing we can assert, there's been too many master builders throughout the Bible that was building cities, or, you know what I'm saying, and too many rites of passage that's in there that relate to the rites of passage of masonry. So there's all the connection there. And just knowing the 33rd degree, it teaches you that it is the scriptures that is the truth. And that is what governs every Masonic lodge. It's the Torah. That is Masonic knowledge. I don't know why they go off that guideline, but that is what is taught in the lodges in the 33rd degree. The symbolism of the three great lights, the Bible truth, the compass self-control, the square virtue, the pillar of wisdom stand on truth and justice. Truth according to the Bible is the law. Psalms 119, 142. You know, so it's all there, bro. You know, I just I enjoy knowledgeable brothers, man, and I like talking to knowledgeable brothers, you know. So at the end of the day, I can't wait till we can get back on
part 10.
Get on something again.
We'll get a part 10 in, man. You know what I'm saying? We'll get some good topics to go over. And you know what I'm saying? I send it out. Man, we'll get Brother Don Yehuda to make a pretty thumbnail. You know what I'm saying? All the thumbnails for controversy and deep conversations, I just take pictures of, of our people, you know what I'm saying, a lot of elders and stuff, and just make it just make a thumbnail. But I'm gonna get Don Yehuda to make a nice little pretty thumbnail for us next time, man, for part 10, man. But I like to thank y'all brothers again. Thank y'all sisters out in the chat. We ain't gonna hold y'all much longer. I know Brother Shalom finna go on. Y'all go there and check him out. You know what I'm saying? He about to do it live right now. Y'all go ahead and check him out. Make sure y'all hit that like button over here. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. Leave a comment, you know what I'm saying, under the live. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get it pumping in the algorithm. Until next time, shalom, peace, and abundant blessings to you all. Love you all, brothers and sisters. Y'all hold it down.
Love y'all, brothers, man. Love y'all, sisters.
Thanks for having us,
Peace,
bro.
King.